Can you walk us through the process of how you were able to view the footage? Did you break in under cover of darkness and tie up the clerks and security guards? Or was there some sort of actual formal legal process that you went through to view this footage? When EVS has put down the broom and is speaking facts like this, you know shit's
Mm-hmm.
it's absolutely off the rails. Shall we get right into it and set the stage
Yes.
as to what's been going on over the weekend with Rekieta?
Yes. Okay. I just sent that message and
Rekieta's
let's
been
do this.
spiraling. He's been
Buddy, no.
losing his mind.
It's actually crazy. The way he looks like he just went on a fucking bender. He's like eyes sunken in. Guys, I swear, it's totally normal.
It's totally normal
Totally
to
normal.
talk like this after hitting a whip it.
All right.
Whip it.
I had the
All right.
confirmation that in 5-10 minutes, Mrs. K will be
All right,
ready.
we got Iron Belly for a sub as
Let's
well.
go.
While Mrs. K is on the air, don't be upset if we take a little bit to, shout out your contribution or whatever.
Still give.
We don't want to throw her off
Yeah.
because she's new to this whole thing. Okay, so let's all give her some respect. Don't be fucking freaks, damn it. I know all of you are sick fucking freaks. Okay, we're having a woman on the show. Let's all try and be nice.
Yes,
once.
no one
All
yell.
right.
Or
Into
you yell.
the Rekieta fucking folder we go.
I saw the intro, folks.
All right.
So
we're
wild.
going into our first folder here, the road to Mama K's appearance on the program.
By the way, if you're watching on Clip Channel, hit like, subscribe, and ring the
make
bell.
Sure to ring that bell.
It really supports us. Let's go.
We're going to start off with the changing of the filth narrative. So when this first happened, when Rekieta was first arrested and exposed and the police reports came out about the home, how filthy it was, how disgusting it was, how the children were neglected, they weren't being fed, their clothes weren't being washed, they were stinking, all of this. Dick Masterson, Nick Rekieta's internet father, came on the Rekieta program, and this was Rekieta's explanation for why the police put this in their report. Let's have a look.
Okay, here we go.
Remember, my house was called an overall dirty home because it had dust on the vents.
Oh,
it's fucking cops.
Come on!
It's so fucking fun. It's like they're dust on the vents.
Retweet liar
Dust
alert.
on the vents.
This guy is seriously trying to claim that the extent of the filth and squalor of the home was merely that the dust was on the vents. The vents were dusty. That's what he is trying to tell everybody.
More like duster.
Now, as time, yeah. He sure was taking in a lot of duster, but not a lot of dusting was going on. You understand?
Yes.
So over time, the narrative has shifted to where just a few days ago, Rekieta admitted to this. So how about that video transcript of the body cam, Nick? Is it accurate? And Rekieta said, it looks accurate.
Whoa.
So for those of you who were there for our reading of the body cam transcript that was provided by our guest tonight, it was floorless. There was no floor because there was so much filth and assorted garbage on the ground that they couldn't even walk on the floor. The fucking bathroom was covered in fucking dog shit. It was absolutely disgusting. It was not a home where children should be living. But Rekieta not only confirmed that the transcript was accurate, but throughout his retarded stream that he did the other day, he was confirming that all sorts of aspects of the body cam transcript were true. So, like, he confirmed showing the photos that there was a skeleton in the living room. Here he is confirming that he did tell the cop to die of gonorrhea. So he's just providing more and more proof that these transcript notes are accurate.
All right, let's check it out. Here we go.
He's being walked to the squad car. He tells an officer, I hope you catch gonorrhea and die based. Yes, I did that. That was funny.
By the way,
He did that.
Okay, so If you say any of it is real, you are confirming that all of it is real because
Pretty
they
much.
saw the
Yes.
footage. They wrote notes.
This wasn't made up out of fucking thin air, right? This is Rekieta confirming that they did in fact see the body cam footage, because how else would they know that, right? Well, then things suddenly change again. So Rekieta's now, once again, as is very often with Rekieta, he's flip-flopping and lying and distorting the truth to fit his own sordid purposes, so that he can continue to neglect his kids and get away with it and get high on galaxy gas all day. So here comes Rekieta. Much has been said about the search of my home and the associated body cam footage. An autistic virgin with a god complex is suing my government to try and get
My
footage of it.
government.
He's seething. He's seething. He even hired psychotic women. So here he is. Like, here's the thing, Rekieta. Why go after these women? Why aggravate them more? The thing is, he makes so many stupid mistakes, and then he ends up handing us this big victory, this interview we have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he hired psychotic women. Now, did he hire them or did they volunteer? Was there an exchange of funds? Was there a reimbursement for expenses? We'll find out. But he claims that he hired psychotic women to unlawfully view the footage. Now, that's fucking a retard alert. buddy.
Unlawfully.
How could the way he's trying to frame this is as though these three women broke into the courthouse, tied up the clerk, and started watching the footage and taking notes unlawfully.
Okay.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
They were invited to go there and lawfully view the footage, which is, we understand, they weren't allowed to pause or rewind. There were playback issues.
My nightmare.
We'll get into it when we talk to Mama K. But this is like defamation. Straight up what Rekieta is saying, to claim that these women broke the law to view the footage and write masturbatory scripts about it. Okay, they wrote what they saw. He goes, I'm not going to release the footage. Right.
Whoa.
I wonder why. Rekieta. Is it that the footage will confirm that what they wrote down is the God's honest gospel?
It's worse,
practice?
probably, when we see it.
You know?
Jeez.
And I will fight the virgin in court. I will, however, invite you into my home with photographs taken by the police during. Why? Why does he think that this is a good idea?
Show the footage, or
nobody knows.
shut the fuck up.
Like, who does he think that this is going to convince?
No one.
Nobody. He goes, we can compare it to the breathless accounts written by hobgoblins, projecting their own absurd past onto my family. Judge for yourselves, he says.
Join me at 5 Central. All right.
So Josh goes, I don't know if my voice is cracking, but I know somebody who is. He's cracked. He's losing his mind. He's spiraling. So this is apparently a direct contradiction from Rekieta of Mama K and the other women's testimony, because they said that from the entryway of the door, you could see the coke on the nightstand from the hallway. And Rekieta says it's literally impossible to see that from the hallway. There's a wall obscuring that area from the hallway. So we'll be asking Mama K about that. I'm pretty sure Rekieta's lying and it's a cope, but who knows? And then somebody here responds to Rekieta and goes, well, if Josh is a virgin, let him your wife. And Josh says he doesn't deserve that level of punishment.
Let's go. Okay. All right, let's
so
keep speeding through here.
We have some clips of the cope stream. This is going to be very quick. Unlike normal Keno Casino, we're just going to kind of lightning mode through this.
It's angers me, by the way.
Here's Rekieta saying before the stream, he had to have a really difficult conversation. I imagine this is with his wife, who's probably filing for divorce very soon, or didn't want him to release these pictures or talk about the body cam at all. Let's have a look.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Holy fuck, low energy.
Needed to happen before the show.
I want to pause so bad.
And so that's done.
Oh, he looks so sad.
Oh, wow.
He's sad. He looks terrible.
He looks awful.
He's dying. All right, here he is. This is one of the most insane statements I think I've ever heard. All right, hit play.
All right, hang on. Sometimes to turn it up, is it?
It's not a polished up, pristine home. It's a house that's
filthy,
lived in by 8 people at the time. I guess.
Come on, bro. It was a crack den.
It
was a crack den,
That's why.
bro. It was a den of depravity and iniquity with sex toys, baldos, crack pipes, coke, ketamine, edibles. It was wild, bro.
All right, I turned it up, folks.
But she was there a lot. So that's some people would call it living there, and I don't care. Like, the distinction doesn't matter to me anymore. But it's we'll say there's 8 people there, and it's a lived-in home, and it's a morning, and it was company showed up unexpectedly, we'll say.
Buddy, there
The
is.
guy's trying to claim it's actually a normal house.
Yes, I know.
Like, it's
right?
crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Okay.
So let's see. What do we got? No one wants to see your kids. I beg to differ. There's a ton of people who say specifically that they want to see my kids.
Now listen, yeah, and their names are Vito and Melton, your BFFs. Nobody else wants to see your kids. Nobody's like, and by the way, nobody will see your kids because we know from the firsthand account of the body cam, your kids are barely in it. And secondly, any release of the body cam will blur out your children and obscure their voices.
This is
so it's no
You're a
fucking
pedophile. If you want to see it.
As he hangs out with Dick Masterson, Vito, and Melton,
right?
All of them have very shady histories, like defending cuties and all sorts of strange statements about children. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And look at his face here. Very scared.
And Ralph, too.
I know.
For that matter.
I wish I could pause longer, but I told her 3 minutes. Okay, here we go.
On the video. They're actually, quite the subject of people's imaginations. And they're the subject of this writing. So.
All
it's
right.
Just some strange stuff. All right. So here he is. This is where it turned into a real Jarbo-esque Boulder Stream extravaganza. Okay. This is where they started pressing him for the exit data. They're like, hey, can we see the data of when these photos were taken? By the way, some of them, when Rekieta pulled them up, the data said that these photos were taken in 1981.
What?
I'm not even kidding. People analyzed the day as compared to the position of the sun and the time when he said they were taken on Kiwi Farms and determined that these were fucking bullshit forgeries that were taken after the fact. So, by the way, what we're looking at right now on screen is supposed to be a clean home. Okay? Look at this shit. Look at this shit. You can't even sit down. There's fucking clothes everywhere. And this is after they cleaned it up to CPS's specifications. It was even worse than this on the day of the fucking body cam, buddy. And look at this shit. They have the paper towel next to the paper towel rack. Whoa, buddy. What sort of filthy, degenerate deviants wouldn't just put the paper towel on the paper towel rack? What is wrong with these people? These poor kids.
We'll definitely do like a more examination.
He's lazy.
After the interview, we'll zoom in and talk about everything.
It's a hoarder pigsty, even after they cleaned it, damn it.
Show metadata, you lying liar. Okay. Like, you want me to? Why do you?
Whoa!
Oh, he's getting charboed. He's getting charboed.
Is this how you would lie about this? I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you would lie. You lie about everything. He's like, now listen, guys, I know I've lied about everything since day one and told multiple contradictory narratives and have concealed all of the proof of everything. But guys, you take me at my word, right? No!
This is the real one. This is the
no, Baldo, man.
This is the non-lie.
No.
Be like, Here, it's perfect.
Where's the metadata, buddy?
Can we see the metadata on this photo? Okay, so maybe let me figure out how to get it. I will show you.
He's spooked. He's like, look at him. He knows. That's the LA Noir face. He knows he's lying, and he knows if these are properly examined, it will turn out that they're forgeries that were not taken by the police. It's like, how do I get out of this one? There's a report history page. Why, yes, there is, Mr. Jarbo. Oh, no.
Trying to figure out the best way to do that.
By the way, I do want to point out one final thing about that before we move on.
Mhm.
You've got the paper towels and all this assorted filth next to a gas stove. It's a miracle the whole house didn't go up in flames and everyone there perish, for God's sake.
It's like Final Destination 2 with a dude like lit a fire in his house.
It really is.
It's like the same
It really
scene.
is.
All right, we're almost done
we
here.
got a few more.
Edited win.
Oh,
you see the edited? Like,
look
it's
at
in
him.
parentheses.
Look at him. He looks so
Edited?
guilty. Edited? What are you talking about? He looks so guilty, bro. He's guilty.
Man.
He's caught in 4K.
This guy's showing the fucking.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
man.
There's literally no way to satisfy you at all.
No,
Maybe
in this,
just
so-
tell the
so I
truth.
guess we'll
You
just
know how
move
you can
on.
satisfy us? Release the fucking body cam, asshole. That's how we'll be satisfied.
Yep.
Long nose.
BobTube says you've picked the best photos and it's still bad. Okay.
Stop a Baldo. Stop a Baldo. It's true, though. He's cherry picking photographs, and that's the best he could come up with. And then there's pictures of like dog shit all over his floor. Like, whoa, buddy. All right, finish his cope off.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
almost-
I didn't say it was good. But you get to make your own judgments. It's fine.
Oh, everything that was said was real.
We don't get to make our own judgment because you won't release the unredacted body cam that will prove who's telling the truth and who's lying once and for all. But after all of the narratives that Rekieta was starting to lay about the nanny, about how she was evil and she gave his kids alcohol and this and that, which we all thought was to excuse the mess of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Rekieta here is now going to come out and backpedal it and say the nanny was never responsible for cleaning the house. Which I think, I'm going to be real, I think it has something to do with the fact maybe CPS might be involved in his life again because of what he said about the nanny. Because how is CPS going to let that go? That you just allowed the nanny to give your kids booze and get drunk on the job, just completely negligent and never reported it to anybody until now? Maybe. I don't know, but let's have a look.
Like, why didn't you have your nanny pick up the house? Oh, wait. It wasn't her job to pick up the house. She did some mild cleaning, usually like dishes and stuff, but
He's high.
He's so
she wasn't expected to
fucked.
pick up the house.
This
It
is
wasn't her.
like a junkie. This is train
Or
spotting
it could
second
be
half.
could be her lawyer sent to cease and desist, as people are pointing out in chat as well. But the tone towards the nanny has changed.
Mhm.
Now it's back to, the nanny, she didn't do nothing. It wasn't her responsibility. Interesting that Rekieta has changed that
By the
detail.
way, bro, this is like Renton in train spotting, like in the third
Isn't
quarter of
it
the
though?
movie.
Like,
for real.
Yeah.
Like straight up the
Responsibility.
the sunken
God.
eyes, pale skin. He's looking terrible. I think we got a couple more here, and then we'll bring in Mrs. K.
Corin Gill says,
Yep.
I'm pretty surprised how different this all is from what I imagined. I guess reality is always weaker than fantasy. Hope you can learn from this. Hope I can learn from this. I've known that the whole time. What are you talking about?
Buddy,
What? Jesus Christ.
He's
Hope
actually
you can learn
trying
from
to
this.
say that he hasn't learned anything from this entire experience, which is true. He really genuinely believes that he didn't do anything wrong, that all of his actions were correct, and he wouldn't have done it any differently. And it's only the mean, nasty government and the Kiwi farmers that got in the way of his good, wonderful, wholesome fun. That's seriously what this guy believes.
Twisted.
That's fucking twisted.
It's bad.
Twisted.
It's really, really, really.
What, that people lie like a lot? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, well, we learned that from you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the biggest liar there
Exactly.
is.
Holy, just lack of self-awareness,
shit, bro.
just no self-awareness at all, just none.
Oh my
And
god.
here he is. Now he's seething about his schedule, and then we'll go to his comments about Mama K, which I think is what led to her coming on, and then we'll bring her on.
I was a mother of 5 children asleep at 10 a.m. Well, it wasn't 10 a.m. It was police got there around 9.
Oh, 9. Sorry.
Whoa,
Wow,
what a huge
why was a mother of
difference.
5 children asleep?
It was 9/11.
We have a
Because
different
she was
sleep
on
schedule.
drugs. Because she was on drugs, Rekieta.
I don't know.
This is what's crazy, is you had 4 adults, none of them have jobs, all in a house, and none of them could clean or cook. Just think of how crazy that is. 4 unemployed adults just living in a total pigsty because all they lived for was the next fucking degenerate high and degenerate sex act. Whoa, buddy.
Scheduled than you, homie. Our children are homeschooled for the most part.
Oh, not
And,
schooled at all.
I
Yeah.
work 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So
Right.
Yeah.
He
our kids have a
works.
different sleep
Works
schedule
the hot
too.
tub
Yeah.
streams
Get
while
up.
It's
drinking.
a real
Weird
loose
fucking question.
definition.
Because you, that's why. How's that one?
Right. Listen,
Jesus Christ.
Rekieta, how
Wow.
about your answer from the beginning was just you and I'm not providing any information? Like, you have to move on, but he keeps making it worse and worse and worse on himself. All right, so now let's go into the next folder. So come back out of this one.
Oh, I see. You made it like that.
and
Okay,
then
cool.
seething at Mama K.
Okay. right,
So
Mama-
let's play this clip, which I don't know what Mama K did other than just report objectively on what was going on. But Rekieta is mad. He's really angry. And because he lashes out like this, he creates more problems for himself. Let's have a look.
Is your house a store? It's like a fucking store. Isn't it like a
It's a
Goodwill?
good, it looks like a Goodwill, or it looks like some sort of creepy cult compound, like
The
Heaven's
store.
Gate or something, where all the cult members have to wear like weird used clothes
Yeah.
stolen from thrift stores
Fucking
or something.
thrift store.
I can imagine being the kid and you have to pick the clothes off the same rack as your older brother or younger sister. It's all no rhyme or reason. It looks terrible.
Yeah, fucking Salvation Army tier.
I don't
someone
know of
said.
anybody who lives like that.
No,
But
this is
these
weird.
are photos that he put out himself, thinking that it would make him look better. He didn't have to do this. He's
my,
only hurting himself. He's an idiot.
oh my god, the fluorescent lights, by the way.
Mama K says this is one actual
Fuck.
legit photo. Hey, Mama K, you're a fucking scum bitch. I hope you die.
Whoa.
I really
Whoa,
do.
Mama.
Why?
You.
Now, listen,
You're just
Whoa.
Mama K is not the one who didn't feed your kids, who didn't wash their clothes, who was a drug-addled fucking lunatic jerking themselves off on live stream. Mama K is not the one that got arrested with 26 grams of cocaine, okay? It's not her fault. It's your fault. You're just upset that your sordid behavior is being brought to the light and you're being held accountable for it. So you're lashing out in an angry and vicious fashion at somebody who's really done nothing wrong. Okay, let's hit play.
Yeah, and he's sent it for 25 subs. Let's
Huge!
big support. Thank you.
disgusting. Take your trauma somewhere else. I didn't abuse you. I didn't abuse my kids. Someone else abused you.
You did, though.
Well,
Go take it up with
Your
them.
daughter tested positive for
Fuck's sake.
cocaine.
You're a
Mhm.
psychopath.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Mama K, like,
Losing his mind.
Holy shit.
Imagine, though,
You're
getting upset at somebody because they were traumatized as a child by a piece of shit parent such as yourself, and they're trying to protect other kids from facing the same sort of horrible abuse that they suffered. Like, that's obviously a good person that's trying to do the right thing, whereas you're an evil, horrible scumbag piece of shit.
Yeah.
Who's trying to hide up his crimes. That's what's going on here, bro.
the living spaces looks like my family's living room, and Dan did 5 minutes after me.
yeah,
and my
with
4 siblings
coke
woke
and
up in
sex
the morning when we
toys
were
just
kids.
visible. From the
Guaranteed
Yeah.
there was no Baldo in the house that guy grew up in. I'm just saying.
It's kind of like we're a normal family. Like, I don't know what people thought.
Normal. You take
Alert.
oxide.
Like, what are we talking about?
Normal.
From the standard of what, the ghetto? Like the projects in fucking Gary, Indiana? Or some fucking trailer park in the deep south where everybody smokes meth? Like, you do realize it's not normal. It's not normal in your community. It's not normal for somebody of the means that you guys have to live in filth and squalor, doing drugs and hooking up in a polycule all day. This is a normal family, maybe on Jerry fucking Springer, Rekieta. Not in the affluent Candiyohi County, my friend.
All right.
What was going on? Oh, wait, I do. It's because someone has been lying about me and my family.
You were doing
for the past
coke,
year,
bro.
every
Shut the
single
fuck
day
up.
for the past year.
Where are the
And
lies?
Yeah, what
Because as
lie?
far as I know, the only person that's really lying is Rekieta.
Yeah.
Basically, everything that people are saying about you, Rekieta, is coming from publicly available court documents or legitimate government documents that were leaked by Minnesota Public Records.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not like, oh, people are making stuff up out of whole cloth and it's a rumor mill of the internet hate machine. That's not what's going on, Rekieta. I don't know what to tell you.
Crafted some narrative about some
We have.
horrific hellscape. And I'm sorry, but it's just not fucking true.
All right, okay. Sorry, we're gonna do one last one here. Let's just do this real
all
quick.
right.
Not the same day 100. No, I'm sorry, you dumb bitch.
Okay,
These
Mama K here saying this isn't the day. Stop.
they're all
All
taken
right, we're
all
gonna get her on here in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Fuck it.
I'll just yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's
by the
play it.
cops.
No pause.
There-
All right.
there's just no way around it. Like this is from the raid. I don't know what else to tell you.
Wow, one cupboard.
He's clearly lying. If
Yeah.
you just look at his
There you
facial
go, yeah.
expressions.
Anyone
Then
who
show
thinks
us the
that
fucking
is a
raid.
messy or
Show us the
cluttered
fucking
house,
body
can
cam.
go
If
fuck
that's it.
themselves with Kurt's
that's it.
macropene.
All right. Let's
Next cry for 5 subs. Let's get Mama K on. Let's
a
have
phone
her
right
right
here.
off the top respond to what Rekieta is saying, and then we'll get into our questions, your questions. We'll go through the photos of the house as well. All right.
All right, guys. Ashton, 1 second here. I'm gonna hide
Sounds
you.
good.
I'm gonna add her to our call here. 1 sec, folks.
Hello?
There we
There we
go.
go. Perfect.
Smooth as
Mama
butter.
K,
Let's go.
How are you doing? Is that what we should call you, Mama K, or do you have a preference on what we call you? Or
I'm good with Mama K.
Okay, awesome. Thanks
All
for
right.
being on the show. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time.
Now
Thanks for
I don't.
having me.
I don't know if you just were watching what we were showing or not, but if you were, do you want to take just a brief moment to respond to what Mr. Rekieta just said about you? You're a lying bitch, apparently, and you're making things up, and you're projecting your trauma onto him. If you want to respond.
Okay. All I have to say about him accusing me of being a liar is when the body cam footage comes out, we'll see who the liar is. And I'm
Ooh.
confident in that.
Oh, so
Period.
you think it will come out, eh? You still have hope on this?
I do. Josh,
Whoa.
get it.
Let's go. Okay.
Well, I'll just start off from the beginning. What got you interested in this Rekieta situation in the first place?
Yeah, it was because when I saw the story, it hit close to home, and it is literally close to home. And I got invested, and I was like, well, I'll just go check it out and see what it's like. And then from there, it just I got more and more invested.
So you're a local to the area. Are you a resident of Candiyohi County, or are you a little bit further out?
A little further out. I'm
Okay.
not a native Minnesotan, though.
Oh, okay. How long have you lived in the state then?
I've lived in the state 3 different times. This time, 6 years.
Okay.
Did you watch
And-
Nick before this?
I knew of Nick, but
Yeah.
no, I was not a fan. The very first time I saw him, he irked my soul.
Whoa.
And I was like, I cannot stand this guy. Emily D. Baker, he had her on, and I went to his channel to watch her, and I was like, oh, I can't stand this guy. He's a scumbag. And that was years ago. COVID.
Okay.
Well, would you say the Reketas and the family situation as you know it is typical for Kandiyohi County or the area? Or is it normal or is it abnormal for their lifestyle?
From what I've experienced, it's abnormal.
No
Yeah.
swinging, like no multiple swinger houses around your area and
No, these are
sex
like,
barns.
no, these are humble, hardworking, salt of the earth type of people around here. They're different. They're different kind of people, but they're traditional.
Well, do you know, like, is there kind of a sense of how the community has reacted to this on the ground? Is it something that like the local townspeople know about and will gossip about?
So I know the narrative out there is that everybody knows about this and they all hate him, but that is not my experience. Every time I am in Wilmer, I LARP as a investigative reporter, and I talk to anybody around me and ask them how they feel about this case, if they're familiar.
Really?
One person in the whole, I would say at least 30 to 40 people I've talked to in the past year, and one person was familiar with the original arrest, and that's it.
Because I was going to ask you, like, has local media taken a big interest in this case at all or been covering it? No.
No, and I feel like the people that, like at the courthouse, I ask around how people feel. And the one metal detector guy, he did almost give me his opinion at one of the last hearings. And he's like, you don't want to know how I feel. And I was like, oh, yes, I do. Yeah, tell me. And he's like, on second thought, I think I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself.
Do you have any sort of idea why it's kind of like that? Why local media isn't covering it? Why people kind of feel uncomfortable speaking out on it? Do you have any idea why that is?
I get the sense that people around here keep their gossip on the down low. I know it goes on, but they're not going to do it with outsiders. And I'm an outsider. So, and they don't just embrace people easily. I've had a hard time connecting with people around here because, you know, I'm a California girl. So,
yeah.
It's interesting. It feels like a movie, like a mystery movie where the whole town's in on it. Because we were talking about the conspiracies and stuff with the judge and the cops. But
it feels like that, and it's strange. So there's a weird story about this last time I went in to see this this footage. When I went in, everything seemed normal. When by the time I left, the lady Katie, who set up these appointments, she came to get me to say it was time to leave, and there was just I'm sensitive to like energy and like just the gauging the temperature.
Yeah.
And it had shifted. I couldn't put my finger on what. And when I went out, soon after I told Josh, I was like, some weird, you know, they treated me different, or I felt different leaving the energy. And then, just a second.
You know,
No
right?
problem.
Yeah. So
You
like the
take
vibe
your
was
time.
off. You take your time. Yeah. Vibe was off. They were being less friendly. Is that what I heard? Like the woman was being less friendly the last time you entered, right?
Mhm.
And when I was leaving, she was fine on the way in. By the time I left, it changed. Well, then when I got to watch, I went to go see the updates before I even left town to see what the newest news was. I saw that. Do you know that stream where he got that bad news?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're all wondering, what is the bad news?
Yeah.
I was in the courthouse watching when that happened.
Oh,
That happened about the time I entered to go watch.
How do you think you found out?
There was a brand new guy. All the other times I go, there's a regular metal detector guy. There was a new metal detector guy that day.
So you think he may have like texted Rekieta?
Possibly.
Oh, yo, this goes deep.
The conspiracy thickens. So let's bring it back a little bit earlier in the timeline.
Yeah.
When did you first decide that you wanted to get involved? We've been calling it colloquially Josh's Angels. When was it you decided you wanted to be one of Josh's Angels and view the body cam and all of this? And why?
I saw that Josh had put out the message he was looking for locals. And I reached out to a go-between and said, I'm willing to hear out what he's looking for. And then when I found out what he was looking for, I fit exactly. He wanted women. He wanted, I think people that would take this seriously and not as like jokes and just, to shit on him. It was, to actually seriously report on what we saw. And I was like, I think I fit that bill pretty well. I think this is kind of made for me.
Nice.
Now, I want to clear some things up. Rekieta said Josh hired you. Did he offer you money? Was there monetary compensation involved?
None. I haven't received a penny since I started following this. Will didn't pay me before. And no, Josh, he did offer to pay gas money or whatever expenses I had.
Sure.
But, I didn't take him up on that.
You turned that down. So there was no sort of financial benefit for you that would bias your testimony or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel about like the truth? Like, are you a religious person at all? Do you feel like you need to always be honest in all of your dealings and forthcoming? Because Rekieta seems to attack your integrity. To me, you come across as a very normal, serious, and credible woman. So I just wonder, like, I just want to make sure, that people are on the same page with that. Like, how do you feel about your relationship with the truth? Because we know Rekieta has a very serious problem with telling the truth.
Yeah, I am very particular about getting details right. It's important to me to get things right. And I was raised Christian. I'm considering myself more spiritual now. I have a relationship with God, and I believe in karma. So yeah, it's important. My integrity is important to me.
Oh, may I ask you a question here? When you were taking notes, were you allowed to take notes while watching, or did they make you take notes after and you had to remember everything?
While watching, and I could pause and rewind, but the other girl couldn't because of time constraints.
Okay.
I could, but every time I did, not every single time, but the majority of the times I did, it would cause technical issues where it would fail to play, and I would have to start it all over, readjust the sound, and get it back to the right timestamp. So I tried not to as much as possible.
Okay.
Now, Rekieta claims that you unlawfully viewed this footage. Can you walk us through the process of how you were able to view the footage? Did you break in under cover of darkness and tie up the clerks and security guards? Or was there some sort of actual formal legal process that you went through to view this footage?
No, I ninja'd my way in there.
Yeah, you broke into the ceiling fucking window.
007.
Yeah.
No, I made an appointment with the lady who coordinates it, and set an appointment and went in at the right time. And there was a lot of there was a trial that was going on. So there was 5 or 6 days in between the first time I was able to go in and the second time I was able to go in. So yeah, because it was using the jury room.
And they were accommodating to you. They were polite and professional and courteous, right?
Yeah.
And the vibe only changed, as you said, on that last day. Something changed. Something caused the vibes and the energy to shift. And then you were not allowed to view the footage any longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. That's very strange and weird. Like as Rekieta would say. Yeah.
How did you personally find out you were no longer allowed to view the body cam?
I I think from Josh. I guess she emailed me. I missed that email. I found it today, actually, that she had emailed me and said I wouldn't be able to come back in. But
Okay.
Wait.
from the other one.
I have to ask you
Check.
this too, because this was like, so we were told that the last time the footage was attempted to be opened, there was like some sort of like data error, like it just wouldn't work, it wouldn't open, there was error, whatever popped up on the screen. Do you think they destroyed the footage? This is what the theory is going on around.
No, I think that got skewed a little. It was probably in reference to the technical issues of rewinding. And the other lady who went in, she wasn't pausing and rewinding at all, and she got an error come up too. So
okay, so it was in reference to that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Did you find it difficult to orient yourself? Like, was it difficult to kind of see certain details? Like, what was the resolution like and the sound like and everything like that?
now the sound was hard. I think they have blown speakers in there and it would start out at 100%, which when I get it down, I need it at 6 to 8% for the right. So, and the first time I went in, I had to listen to it for 20 minutes at that 100% volume. And it was crazy. And I think it blew the speakers. And so it made the sound hard. Watching the footage itself, it is so hard to focus because there's just so much to take in with the activity of all the different cops and then just all of the clutter and mess and everything in there. It's very disorienting.
How about the pixel resolution? Was it like 720p? Would you say like a blurry style? Like if you were to
Was it
compare the
standard
footage,
definition? Like, what would you say?
Yeah,
Would you
what
say
would
the
you compare
quality
the
was?
footage is? Yeah.
I'm not a great judge of that.
Was it clear? Was it clear?
Let me put it to you this way. Did it look like a VHS? Did it look like a DVD? Or did it look like a Blu-ray?
Or like security footage, which is like the worst, right?
I would say somewhere between VHS and DVD.
Okay. So a bit better.
It wasn't like the highest possible quality, but it was still pretty easy to determine what was what, you would say?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Good.
Now,
good.
I want to focus on, actually, you know what? Before we go into what Rekieta's been putting out and stuff like that, I wanted to ask you, you were visiting the courthouse during this trial, right?
I went to every hearing, including Kayla's.
Is there anything you want to tell us, any stories you'd like to relay or things that people might find interesting from when you were at the courthouse?
Well, I told on Will Heron's channel that about one of the hearings where I went, and on my interviews with Will kept trying to, I'd say, kind of pressure me into talking to Nick. And I kept saying, I have no interest in talking to Nick. I made it very clear. I just had no interest in it. And then I went in the one time and I was sitting there on the bench and they, in the hallway, and they came in and he came right over to me and sat like right next to me, like really close to me. And it's like, can we talk? It's like, I guess.
Really?
Did you feel like he was trying to intimidate you in some way or threaten you in some way? What was the vibe or the aura that he was giving off to you?
Manipulative. It felt like he was trying to butter me up and get me on his side.
It's not surprising. What did he say to you?
It's hard to remember exactly, but he was saying, I just want to assure you that, my I know your history. He said, because I shared a little on Will Heron's channel of my childhood.
Okay.
And he said, I know your history. I want to assure you that is not the case with my family. We like to party, we like to have fun, but there was no abuse going on, and it was just, some partying that we got caught up in.
Did you mention to him his 9-year-old daughter's positive test for cocaine, or?
I don't remember exactly. So I got so I had like a physical reaction, and like my body reacted. My brain was like, I was fine to sit there and talk, but my body is like, was started shaking. I was like
Mhm.
really shaking, trembling, shaking. And my body wanted to run while my brain was like, stay here and engage.
Well, do you think it's appropriate for this man to go up to I don't know your story, but if this is the case that you had childhood traumatic events, is it appropriate for him to just come up to you and start talking to you about traumatic events and be like, this is,
I think, I made it so clear on Will's channel that I had no interest in that. So no, I don't think it was appropriate. He knew that that was not something I wanted. So yeah, I didn't appreciate it.
certainly not.
This is really odd. This is
Seems
creepy.
really fucking slimy and creepy from him. And for what? What do you think his end goal was in terms of coming up to you like that and talking to you about that?
I think it was the equivalent of his shower calls in person.
For those of the audience who aren't familiar, do you want to just briefly describe what the shower calls are? Because some people may not be familiar. I'm sure a lot of our audience is, but we have probably some newer viewers that may not be familiar.
I'm only vaguely familiar with. I guess he has a history of calling people and messaging people from the shower and trying to manipulate.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it for sure. So that was your one and only direct interaction with Nick Rekieta, right?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
Before, that is, you reminded me. Okay, so yeah, one of the hearings before he came up to me, after the hearing was over, as I was going to leave, he made a beeline for the door and he just like took off. And it was winter outside, so I had to stop and get my coat on and made my way outside. And as I got back down to the metal detector area, I saw he was standing outside facing the door.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to walk out and I kind of hesitated to the side and I saw he had his phone up like this. But he's like looking off like this. But like, so I was like, he's fucking recording me. But there's no other way to exit. So I had to go out. So I went out and I confronted him on the way out. I was like, are you recording me?
And what did he say? Did he shit a brick? Was he super defensive? What was his reaction to that?
He seemed taken off guard that I actually addressed him and he stopped. He's like, I don't remember if he's denied it or said yes, but he stopped recording and he put his head down and started heading back into the courthouse.
Well, it sounds like he was scared of confrontation with a woman. Wouldn't be the first time with Rekieta. Wouldn't be the first time. So those were your interactions with him at the courthouse. What else? Yeah, go ahead.
There was a little conversation that happened after that. After he put his phone down, he was heading back in. I cannot remember what was said next, but then he came back with like, well, who are you? And that's when I said, I'm a concerned citizen.
I think we covered this on the program, like a third-hand account of that.
Yeah.
What was his reaction to you telling him you were just a concerned citizen?
He like snarled at me. You're no concerned citizen.
Right. Like, but you obviously are.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't understand what this guy's attitude is. Why do you think he reacts like that and acts like that?
I think he's never had to face consequences in his life. I think he's always got his way his whole life. And he's not used to having to, I don't know. He's not used to taking accountability or being even confronted about anything.
Or I always feel with Nick, right? It's always like if you tell him he's doing something wrong, he can't ever own up to it and go, you know what? I screwed up. I'm sorry. It's always the most resistance, and it makes people more pissed off. If when he was caught, he had gone, listen, I screwed up my life. I was on drugs. I'm going to do rehab. I'm so sorry. Took a few months off, came back clean, and went super remorseful. He'd probably retain a big chunk of his audience. But because he's so resistant, it's always this just like, I hate you, Nick. Like, you're so annoying. Like, and he lies about everything. There's no truthfulness. Ridiculous.
Where I'm at with it now is, why doesn't he just shut up about it?
Exactly.
That's what I don't understand. And because he won't shut up about it, I imagine that plays a big role in why you're on the show today. Is that true or no?
It's all of it. You know, yeah, if he would have done what Andy said, I would have never gone to see the body cam footage, because I'm like, okay, he learned his lesson. He's changed his ways. He's doing better. Like, I'm going to stay out of this. But the way he's acting and the way he's unrepentant, and it's obvious he hasn't changed a bit. And yeah, that makes me want to still intervene and say, at least speak up on behalf of the kids of, I want to be an advocate for them, be an advocate that I didn't have in my life.
Yeah.
And that's a very noble intention that you have there. I want to go back. So you've seen Rekieta in the flesh. Most of us have only ever seen him through the computer screen or whatever. Did he look to you when you saw him as like a drug user? Does he look as cracked out in person as he does online? Is it worse, or did he look healthy at that time when he was going through the court process?
No, he usually he looked like he does, only with the suit on. So
right.
Yeah.
So he looked like a cracked out skeletal ghoul.
Yeah.
Was tall and
Was
skinny.
was there any particular odor to him? Did you smell booze on him, or BO, or any signs of drug use?
Will asked me that question too. No, I didn't.
Okay. No cologne even?
Not that I remember.
Is it a scent-free environment in the courthouse?
Yeah.
It is? Okay, so that there's no cologne. I was hoping. See,
You're
this is how you can tell that she's not just telling us what we want to hear. This is very credible and unbiased, because it would be very easy for you to say, oh, he stunk of booze and he looked like a hobo and this or that. But here you are being honest and very impartial with your testimony. And we appreciate that, because we're trying to get to the truth of the matter. Is there anything else, any other details from the court? Like, was April there regularly? Was she only there once or twice? What was her relationship like with Nick in the courtroom that you saw?
Well, I'll go back first. The omnibus, Ethan Ralph was there, so I got to meet Ethan Ralph too. Well, not meet him, but was right near him.
And how was that?
How did that go?
Interesting.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Ethan Ralph. Give it, what was he acting like?
How
What
did
did
he
you
smell?
observe, Ralph? What? So petty.
You know what? That was the very first hearing I went to, and I didn't know what to expect. And I went, and a lot of people showed up to that one. I came up the stairs, and you turn right to go down the hallway. And right as I turned right, Ethan was the first person I saw, and he was looking at a bulletin board.
Jump
And
scare.
He literally looked me up and down, like me up, like it was so obvious.
You think he was perving on you, is what you're saying?
I didn't know. I think he was trying to get. I was a Kiwi farmer, a reporter, what I was there for. Like, who I
No.
was.
Is he 5'1"? He's 5'1".
How tall was he?
Yeah, thank you.
Be objective here, guys. This is not what you want to hear.
I think 5'4".
I think he's closer to 5'5", 5'6".
There, okay.
5'5". Yep.
There
That's
it is.
That's what I told you all.
5'5". See?
Yep. See,
That's totally. She could have said 5'1", but This is an honest woman who told us he's still short, but he's 5'5". Give him a little couple extra inches there. People are like, she's lying. This is incredible.
I'll say two things real quick. Our chat loves you, first of all. And secondly, I've worked with many people online over the years. You're the first person to be like the first time ever on Discord where it works initially.
I know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I was like, oh, please don't be this blurry, like ear, like destruction, you know, like anyway. So thank you for that. But go ahead, Ashton.
Yeah. So anything else about Ralph? I think I was asking about April to begin with.
Yeah. So April, she didn't go to most of the hearings, but after the omnibus, that was the first one, she showed up outside after the hearing. And when Nick and Kayla and the lawyers were standing around outside, she went up and joined them outside. Then there was that hearing, the hearing that he confronted me. After he confronted me, I went across the street and waited for him. And you know the picture where he has his arms crossed and he's like looking over his shoulder.
Yes.
I took that.
Oh, that was you.
Good work.
Okay, nice.
He's a better journalist than the local media on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, may I ask you about the kids and Kayla? Did you see Kayla? Was she there?
Yeah, she's been
okay.
at all
So
of
what
them.
did she look like? Like, did you get a vibe? Because when I saw the pictures, she looked like she was dying. Right? Is that how you?
As it progressed, as the hearings progressed, she started looking better.
Okay.
And I mean, she still looked stressed and she looked broken. Honestly, she really seems like her spirit is just broken. It's sad. It makes it. She comes across sympathetic. I am very empathetic. I know she doesn't deserve it for allowing this to happen, but I can't help myself to feel a little sympathy for her because she seems like a wounded animal.
Yeah. It's a very, very sad situation to where you have a mother who's, allowing her children to miss meals and have stinking clothes. And you just have to wonder what the root cause of that is, what sort of trauma she went through, whether it's Rekieta abusing her, whether it's him stepping out on the marriage, whether it's a combination of these things, how, she got into the drug. Because when you look at her in those, mug shots, right, it's obvious she was also partaking in the drugs, right? And so it's just, do you have a theory on how she got there? Or do you don't really know anything beyond what we know?
I think to live with a man like Nick and the way he manipulates and the way he is so harsh and critical. And I just feel like she's probably been beaten down and just her self-esteem, crushed into the ground. And even the accounts of hearing that she initiated things and stuff, I don't believe that. Maybe she thinks it was her idea. Maybe he manipulated her into thinking it was her idea, but I don't think so.
I don't know of many women that are like, let's open our marriage with 5 kids 20 years in. Like, it's not, it's pretty crazy, right? Let's all start doing cocaine and ketamine on the daily. It's hard for me to believe that the idea originated with her, but we are just speculating. It's hard to really know. And Rekieta is a very unreliable narrator, to say the least.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still doing whippets and other drugs or anything like that? You've seen the clips, I'm assuming, of like the recent, accusations where he's off camera, comes back, and his voice sounds like this, and it's clearly about like whippets and stuff. And like, do you believe he's still using or what? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. At least those two.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced that's what he was doing.
I have a question actually about sort of like the video itself. Now, we read the notes and we saw everything and it was crazy. Could I ask you, when you were watching, Were you like in shock? Were you okay? Have you watched other body cams? I'm assuming you have online, you know, true crime stuff. Did it compare to a lot of the crazy stories you'd see on like Jim Can't Swim or something like that when they're walking into the house? Like, what was your feeling when you saw the house? And like, what was happening? Were you like, what the hell? Or were you just calm or relaxed or nervous?
It was heavy, and yeah, and I'm pretty empathetic. I put myself in those kids' shoes. It's very easy for me to put myself in their shoes, you know, since I lived a similar experience. Not the wealth, of course, but the environment. And so, yeah, it was heavy for me, and it brought up a lot of old stuff.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And the kids
And
were on the wall, remember? Like the kids were leaning on the wall. Was that like the most horrific sight? I'm assuming when I was listening to Ashton read that part, that got to me a little bit. You know what I mean? The kids leaning on the wall, Rekieta. Yeah, but how was
the
that
one
scene?
child holding the cat for comfort, right?
Yeah, well, I just saw her pick it up on their way out, but yeah, well, the worst part for me was them talking to her through the door, trying to get her to open that door. And they even stopped. And on the radio, they radioed the other officer that had Nick pulled over and told him that they were going to break down. Oh, something popped up.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Yep.
They told him that they asked him for the code. He refused. They said, we're going to bust in the door if you don't give us the code. And he still refused. So
Did he know his daughter was on the other side of the door?
you know, I don't know. I don't know if he knew that, but obvious isn't be
But
obvious.
at that point, right, he had already been served the warrant, right?
He didn't. I heard on them talking. They didn't have the warrant at his stop, and he had to come back to the house to see the warrant. But they told him of it, and
So they told him there was a warrant, and so they
Mm.
were going to get in anyway. And he chose, out of pride, to allow the door to be busted in, you know,
Yeah.
causing trauma to whoever witnessed that, right?
yeah, yep.
Didn't
The
have to go
8-year-old.
down that way.
The same one that tested positive was the one who was behind that
Oh
door.
wow. She was in
And-
on it. I'm just kidding. Okay. But I ask you this
What
very
a
important
what a
question.
fucking disaster. Go ahead.
Fucking disaster. Very important question. So, Ada recently has said that seeing the night table from the hallway when you enter the door. Now, what we were told on the on the sheets, on the recaps of the body cam footage, is that you could see on the night table. He's saying that's physically impossible and there's a wall blocking that. So could you just explain what you saw from the hallway into the bedroom and what you saw as in terms of like the
Or
coke?
maybe there was some sort of a mix up and it was lost in translation. What was the situation with that?
Again, I'm going to be objective here and tell you how my recollection. It does differ a little from her report.
Right. Okay.
And I'm not, disputing her credibility because it's so easy to be disoriented with all the stuff. So how I remember it is you walk in the door, there's a little distance to like the kitchen area. Then when you turn to the left, you can see down the hall. Now you could see, once you get down the hall a little bit, you could see into the room, but no matter what, those kids, there's rooms in the back. I guess some kids' rooms are downstairs or something, but there are some rooms past their door. And you could see it from the doorway and part of the hallway, and they'd have to go back and forth past that door all the time.
So you would
Regularly.
say if the kids were walking around, doors open, they could see it.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, okay, cool.
100%.
Is there anything anyone else said in the other reports that you think were exaggerated or a lie?
Or
No
just
lie.
incorrect.
Yeah.
They might have made a mistake.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There was a part that I didn't see. So the second time I went in, I got to see, I think, about 30 minutes of the second cam, and I never have submitted my notes on that. I've never transcribed them, or I haven't really had time. But there was one part I didn't see. Not saying it didn't happen. I just, like I said, so much going on. I was probably focusing on something else at that moment of the video. I didn't see them swab the pillow. Again, not saying it didn't happen. I just missed that part. And also, I could have had a technical error at that part. And when I put it back to that timestamp, I could have accidentally skipped that part. So,
Okay.
but that's very accurate.
So let's go into some of the claims that Rekieta has been making. So Rekieta's released all of these pictures. Do you believe that the pictures were from the day of the raid? Was it like a mixture of some that were from the day of the raid and some that weren't?
I'm 100% sure that most of them were not from that day.
Okay.
Like,
so
no doubt.
okay. So do you think, like, how much later in the process do you think? But it certainly wasn't from that day.
Definitely not from that day.
Okay.
The one with the drugs on the toilet was from that day. Even the one that he pulled the metadata from, I don't think it's from that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on what you've seen from the body cam, you're saying there's no way that those photographs, the vast majority of them, were from that day. Now, we're going to go through with you
Yes.
these photographs that Rekieta has shared, and you can tell us individually on each of them how it compared to what you saw on the body cam. Now, a lot of people DM'd me asking for you to grade these photographs on the basis of something called the hoarder scale, and let us know how bad the room was, or the rooms were, rather. So if we go into...
I'm going to do a share on the Rekieta's Dirty House. Is that one?
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the hoarder scale real quick.
Yeah, so just pull up this hoarder scale for her. And we have here 3 different exemplars for a bedroom, a living room, and a kitchen. And we can see on a scale from 1 to 9 how bad it can be. And then we're going to rate the various body cam rooms on this scale from 1 to 9. And we'll note any discrepancies between the photos that Rekieta has posted and what you saw on the body cam.
And audience, have fun. In chat. I want to see your responses.
If you can pull up for the audience, like the first one here, which I believe is bedroom.
Just resizing the OBS one.
And then Mama K, you should be able to see this in the share window and be able to commentate live along with us.
So yeah, you'll see. I'm sharing the window there. Do you see that? Just click on that and hit view stream, and then that will work. So here is the hoarder scale for bedroom.
The clutter image rating scale for bedroom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just asking you off the top of your head as you're looking at this, the room in question that's most scandalous, most deviant, most would say is the master bedroom. On this scale, compared to what you saw in the body cam, what would you have rated the master bedroom?
I would say maybe a 4.
About a 4. So let's zoom in.
Wait. Actually, give me 1 second. Could you just 1 second? I'm gonna make a thing so we can all see it like this. 1 sec, folks. Alrighty. If you want to just say something, is there any super chats with questions, Ashton? You can ask real quick while I'm setting up the new scene here, just so the audience can see a better look at the hoarder scale. It's a bit small.
Okay, let me make sure.
Yeah, if you have questions, guys, you can donate.
We have Rekieta Nitro Circus for $10 asks, question for Mama K. Do you know if Rekieta is being investigated for anything else? There are local rumors that Nick has been abusive to the family, allegedly.
I have no idea.
Okay. You have no idea about that. Junior Bacon Sneedburger for 5 asks, what skeeved you out about Nick years ago? He only went off the rails in the last couple years.
I don't know. I just had this, there was just something about him. I was like, oh, I cannot stand this guy. I didn't want to watch him.
Okay.
And I avoided him.
All right. And new scene is done. There we go. Now we can zoom in for the audience to see. You said a 4?
So let's zoom in.
Still bad.
4 is still pretty bad. That was the master bedroom. Now
It might be a 5.
it might be a 5. So between 4 and 5 on this scale is what the master bedroom looked like to you. Okay.
I'm messaging the other lady. She says a 5.
She's
says
saying
a 5. So you would say there's like chairs and like shit on the floor. Okay, how much of the floor percentage wise could you see? Would you say?
Well, on the body cam, they're not really focused on the floor that often unless or what.
Okay.
Now, was there just clothes or was there trash mixed in with it as well?
You know, it's like I would say clothes and just stuff. It all starts blending together when it's all that stuff, you know.
There's just so much stuff. You can't even make out individual items because it's such a horde of filth. Is that how you
it all blends together? It's just like,
is it like a mix of children's toys that kind of composes a lot of it, and then clothes? Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's go to the next set of clutter scale ratings.
Okay.
This would be for a kitchen. What would you say the Rekieta kitchen rated at on this clutter image rating scale?
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone to see if I can see better.
Yep.
Okay. Because that, even at the best of times, was kind of a sty. Even in his local streams and stuff like that, there were dishes that were piled up all the time and liquor containers and stuff like that.
Like, even if it's a 4, that's crazy.
Like, even at the level of 4 or 5, you know, you wouldn't want to live there. You wouldn't want kids living in that.
Yeah, even 2 is a little crazy, but it makes sense if there's kids running around throwing shit, right? We want to be as honest here as possible.
Yeah.
Here, if you click my camera, I'm showing the OBS screen. Here, I'm gonna zoom into 4 here. You can see my camera on the left side there on the screen. You'll see a more zoomed in shot of 4.
Yeah, it's again between 4 and 5. And
what?
The other lady said a 5.
A 5?
So about a 5 on the
Okay.
clutter image rating scale.
Jeez.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty important.
5.
Oh no. Oh
Andy,
no.
can you pull up that AI that I tried to do of his kitchen?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Let me grab that 1 sec.
It's actually worse than that in that there's stuff in front of the liquor bottle and dishes and more clothes on the floor than what that image shows.
So there's even more clothes than that.
Yes. And like I said, dirty dishes and things in front of the liquor bottles. Maybe a little less papers on the island, but other than that, it's more stuff.
Okay.
How about the floor itself, the pieces of the floor you did see? Was it like swept or mopped, or was it dusty and food stains? Like, what would you say?
I couldn't tell.
Okay. You couldn't tell. Fair enough. Okay,
Fair
cool.
enough. All right, let's go to our final clutter image rating scale before we start assessing the individual photographs that Rekieta put on. So here we have the living room. So from 1 to 9, where would you place the living room? 4.
At least a 5.
At least a 5?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at 6.
Yeah.
You'd say it's almost that bad? Surely not.
No, 5. Yeah.
You would
solid
say around 5,
Yeah.
between
The
5 and
picture-
6.
Ash, right, the picture he showed, what would you say is a 3? The one he showed.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
2
I would
or
say
3.
what he showed.
And it was worse than that, for sure?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shame on them.
That's
Shame on them.
crazy.
But you have at one time 4 able-bodied adults, 5 children, 9 people in the house, and nobody can clean? Really? Like, what is going on?
Well, when it gets that bad, I mean, I have lived in a house
We
like that.
give up.
It's overwhelming. You don't know where to start, and you go into depression, and yeah, you have to learn how to just not see it.
Yeah.
You just, for kids, you just have to adapt to it, and it becomes normal.
When you've been raised in it, and it might be the only thing you know, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of Rekieta's defenders have tried to push the responsibility onto the children. Like I remember Ethan Van Sciver and even Doug TenNapel, creator of Earthworm Jim, when he was on our show, tried to say that this is the kid's fault, that it was a sty, and that it was It's disgusting, isn't it?
Oh, pisses me off.
Because ultimately, the responsibility lies with the parents to raise the children to understand that this is unacceptable. And it just goes to show, like, what sort of standards as a parent are Nick and Kayla instilling into their children, that they thought that this was normal.
Right. And that speaks to also them, how calm they were during the bust. Him bragging that they were so calm. How does he not get that is not normal? They should have been upset.
It means that they're exposed to traumatic stuff all the time.
They're
like-
desensitized to abnormal. Yeah.
Well,
It's not.
they're doing
Oh.
orgies and drugs all night. Like, this
Yep.
is just like, like another day just hearing that stuff. And I want to actually ask you, because one of the biggest, things that the sweepers and defenders of Nick say is, well, he had 5 kids. And of course, the house will be a mess when you have 5 kids. Would you say that the mess that you saw on the body cam is equal to just having kids running around playing with toys and making a mess?
No. Now it was strange that the bathrooms were cleaner than the rest of the house. And there was the kids' bathroom downstairs that had what I would consider a normal amount of kid mess in it. I lived in, this is a kid's bathroom, and I would have been like, shrug it off that, yeah, that's a kid's bathroom. But
Okay.
and it was weird that they weren't clean by, the other bathrooms weren't clean by like most standards, but clean compared to the rest of the house.
Okay.
Okay, so there we have an idea on the clutter scale. Let's go through these individual images.
Okay.
And you can tell us which ones you think were from the day of and which ones were certainly not. So this here is his image of the kitchen. Would you say that this was taken the day of the body cam footage or later on?
I would say 85, 90% sure that is later.
So you're telling me it was even filthier than this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Can
Yeah.
I ask your opinion? Do you think it's wise to share a photograph like this? Do you think it strengthens his case that the house was clean or weakens it?
Obviously weakens it. And two, what is he going to do if it does come out? I mean, he's sitting there swearing this is from that day, and he's going to be exposed as a liar. I mean, way more than he already has. And I don't know what he expected to come from it.
You're telling me this is the cleaned up version.
Yeah.
Do you
Let's
think?
just have a look at let's look at some of this. This
you
is
think-
something that Nick Rekieta, just so the audience is aware, Nick Rekieta released this photograph himself.
Crazy.
This is what he's admitting that his children live in. Okay, this is what he's comfortable
Sad.
showing people. You can see the entire couch is just covered in clothes. It's like absolutely layered with clothes. The countertop, just all sorts of cookware assorted all over the place. As I like to point out, you have the paper towel next to the paper towel rack.
Yeah.
It's not like,
And this
how
bottle
hard is
here,
it?
this bottle on the bottom right. Look at that. It's just like empty, just whatever. I think I have a theory. I think he showed this so it would show, yes, my house was a mess, but not as bad as what you were reading in the report. I think it was just like a lesser crime, like admitting to a lesser crime, basically.
It was to discredit us.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
what.
And the living room here, I want to ask you too, that like basket that's by the fireplace, all those clothes there, was that all there too? Do you remember?
I
And
don't.
people are pointing out
Hmm.
all of the knives are missing from the knife block.
Except for one.
Who doesn't return the knives to the knife block? Like what is going on? And these aren't like college kids in a dorm for the first time. These aren't, people in their early 20s or these are people in their 40s
Mhm.
that are living like this. It's like a perpetual adolescence. It's like some Peter Pan syndrome,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm reading the messages from the other lady. She said, yeah, there was for sure more shit in the living room. I think that's a cleanup after CPS game.
That's
Okay.
the cleanup for CPS.
After.
Hey, don't worry. You guys can return the kids to us. Look how clean it is. Oh my God.
That's
What a
wild.
disaster. Okay, so let's have a look at this next photograph. Would you say that this was on the day of the body cam raid or not?
100% sure that is not from that day.
That's not how the kitchen looked on the day of the police raid.
No, and it was darker in there. It was like early in the morning and a little overcast.
Yeah.
I think it was not that sunny.
And I want to ask, what one thing that was a common, consistent observation by everybody who I read a transcript of was that there were bottles on the windowsill and that there was like blinds and it was dark and stuff like that. But here we see a lot of natural light coming in and no bottles on the windowsills anywhere. So I found that interesting.
I don't know if that was the room that had them in the windowsill. I think a lot of the other rooms did.
Oh, another detail that's important is the skeleton in the back.
Mhm.
How would you have known about this skeleton to write it in your notes
Oh, yeah.
if you hadn't seen the body cam?
Well, he confirmed by saying he did say to the Officer Pumplin, I hope you get gonorrhea and die. So he confirmed that we saw
Yes.
it.
He confirmed all sorts of markers, making your guys' testimony more credible. And then
Right.
he produces these random photographs that could have been taken on any day and tries to say that it debunks it. That's
And-
crazy.
He thought we weren't going to say anything. I don't know what he thought.
That's what I don't understand. He just keeps making it worse and worse. Okay, next photograph.
Oh, and also, by the way, so the Kiwi farmers looked at these photos and said that the location
The
and the
position
sun,
of the sun didn't line up on the particular day.
yeah,
Um,
and that's obviously a pan shot from this. So he went from here
yes.
to the pan to the right of that. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
these are supposedly taken by the police, is what he claims.
Do you believe that?
Okay.
They might have been, or a CPS worker or something.
Okay.
What about this? Is this what the office looked like on the day of the body cam?
Not even close.
Okay,
Really?
Yeah.
What was different?
his desk was back this way more. In the doorway, it was more visible in the doorway. There was less space between the wall and the chair and the desk.
Now,
and the floor was covered
in what?
in
Just
junk,
to-
in bottles
junks.
and junk.
Now, going back to, I know it's hard to remember without the visual aid, but going back to our clutter guide, what would you have rated his office on that scale from 1 to 9?
Probably a 5 or 6. 5
So-
at least.
So it was one of the worst rooms in the house, you're saying?
Well, there was a couple rooms that were just jam packed full of stuff, hoarded.
Really?
Wow.
Which rooms would you say is the worst? What would you say the worst is?
Well, there was a room off to the right on the hallway. I heard I think it was Aaron it was Aaron this morning said on his show that that room was used for schooling stuff or something. It just was so jam packed full of stuff.
Okay.
It was like an extra closet or something is what it turned into.
What now? Were you the one who wrote down, because this really stuck out to me, that he had piles of pencil shavings all over
Yeah.
the office?
Well, no, the one officer was saying something to the other, and they said something like, "There's just so much stuff," and he's like, "Yeah, I found like a collection of pencil shavings or a pile of pencil shavings." That effect.
That's some
Interesting.
strange stuff.
Oh,
That's some strange stuff.
also, you were saying, I believe it was you or someone else who said, well, this room was disgusting and terrible, except for what we see on camera. Almost like it was staged and the hoarder was like the room was around the background, right?
Yeah, and it looked. It looked so small. There was just so much stuff. The stuff in front of the desk, the other angle. I think he shows another angle coming up of the office. Is there one where you can see the shelves in there?
Let's go to the next image, and then we'll. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we can see the shelves. Is this how it looked in the body cam footage? Because it looks real clean.
No, that's not how it looked. Yeah, there was just stuff. They had a hard time maneuvering through there. And you could see I was wrong about the monitors. I didn't.
Yes.
Those panel lights weren't on, and so they looked like monitors when they weren't on. But it did say the screen looks the same. It did say like in stream, just like that one or whatever that. It had a square up like that on the screen.
Okay.
But yeah, those lights I thought were monitors
Okay.
when they were.
Yeah. And I
They were-
pointed out when I read through that there was a discrepancy where one of you said there was 4 monitors, one of you said there was 5. But if that's what's inaccurate,
Right.
that's not really what the matter at hand is about. It's about the living conditions that the kids were subjected to and just how depraved and how filthy it truly was. So it was much dirtier than this, just totally piled up with trash and liquor bottles and stuff like that. So you're saying this certainly wasn't the day of the police raid.
I'm positive it wasn't.
Okay, next image. So all these images of the office are bullshit. Okay, this room, is this how you remember it looking on the body cam?
Door looking room.
The
Yeah.
Goodwill room?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you go to the next one of this room?
Yes.
Next one, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the angle I saw the best on this room. And so they have those garment bags. They were hanging there. And then to the left of the garment bags was a lot of adult clothes hanging up there high left of that garment bag.
Right
These,
here.
yeah, the racks that are down lower, those were in different positions with less clothes on them. So I'm 100% sure that is not.
I'm starting to get the vibe that these photographs were taken by CPS weeks after the fact. Is the vibe I'm starting to get. I don't
Yeah.
know if you think the same, but that's what I'm starting to think.
That's 100% what I think.
All right, let's go to the next one here.
This
was
is the living room.
on the right side, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's stairs, outside of the library and his studio.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's what you walk down into when you go down the stairs in the basement.
Okay, same
Um,
day or no? What do you think?
Oh no.
Really? It's worse than this? I thought
You
this
know-
was one of the real photos, to be honest. Go ahead.
No, but I don't remember it being like that. When you get to the other photos from this room,
Sure.
I can be more specific about what's different. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the very left at where the 3 stairs are, that's where a love seat was turned up. I think it's this love seat we see here in the right-hand corner. That was turned up, leaning on at the bottom of those stairs.
Like
Against-
like flipped over? Would you say it's
Yeah.
like sort of like leaning on the wall or something? That's crazy. Okay.
Where the xylophone is where that was upside down, leaning on the wall.
Okay.
And all those stackable pad things, those were not there. They might have been there, but over to the side.
Hmm.
Okay.
Was there
So
a clothing on
so-
the floor and stuff?
so far, just for those of us who are keeping score at home, 0 of the photographs match up so far with what you saw on the body cam.
Right.
Okay. Amazing.
Oh, was there
Amazing.
clothing on the floor, like junk on the floor too? Was it just like trashed up?
Yes. It was.
I could only imagine how it looked. Okay. Another angle here.
Yeah, a lot of things are moved around, so that back in that back far corner, that looks kind of similar. But to the left of that was not there. I forget what exactly was there.
Hmm.
But the drum was when you go to the next picture, I think.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a different one. Let's see if it was this one. No.
Yes, there isn't another one. Okay, so yeah, to the left, you can go back one more.
Yeah.
So to the left of what's shown, there's a piano over there. I thought he showed it on the stream last night. Maybe not. A piano over there, and I think you could see it at the bottom of the stairs one.
Okay.
The
So
piano.
on this one,
What you're
right
saying-
over.
What you're saying is the positioning of everything is totally wrong as to what you saw on the body cam. Would you describe the room to be in a similar state of cleanliness, though? Or was it worse? Was it better than this?
There was more clothes and stuff around. This looks more just like the furniture is more disorganized than it was. Besides that upturned couch.
Okay.
So it's a mix. It's in some ways it's better, in some ways it's worse.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now this is
Okay.
what I think might actually be a little bit dirtier.
Wow.
Okay, so this area of the house then was probably one of the cleaner areas during the body cam, you're saying. And you're saying that this isn't from the body cam because it's filthier. Okay.
Yeah, I remember when they were walking through, I was like, okay, this area doesn't look too bad. It's compared to the rest of the house. So
Okay.
Well, interesting enough, that's where he films at night. He'll do his like kitchen streams from that kitchen, right? Is it this kitchen?
is it? I don't.
Yeah. So Ashton, do you think this is the same kitchen he films himself when he's filming the sink?
I don't think so. I think that's the one upstairs he films himself in. But I think this is a part of the house where basically nobody ever goes. And that's why it's so much cleaner than the rest of the house. That's my theory. But
All right.
The lake- So weird. There's so many doorways, and it's like a maze of doorways and little rooms, and it's weird. So yeah, this is their Lego room, and I did pay attention. They had a lot of Legos, but I think there was like a Ferris wheel where that on the top shelf, right in that area, and then these things that are these racks, those weren't there, and there was other junk there.
Okay. So again, this is not from the same day. This is his library room.
Yeah, that's right outside his studio. That's so that area where all the drums and stuff is, you walk past it and you go over into that library area, and then walk past it, and that's his studio. And this, I don't remember all the stuff on the floor.
Was there less things? Was this cleaner on the body cam footage, or was it more cluttered?
Like I said, on the body cam, you don't see the floor a whole lot unless they're looking down or from a distance is the only time you see the floor. This one there, I don't remember exactly. I remember seeing the shelves and
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I know it's a lot, right? It's a lot to remember, but
Well, and I just want to point out, I think it really does speak to your integrity and to your credibility that when you don't remember, you're not just making bullshit up or saying things to make him look bad or to shit on him. It seems to me you're giving a very objective account to the best of your recollection of this. And I think that that's very important.
Thank you.
yeah, definitely. Is this the sunroom? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing that room at all.
Okay, that's where April said she stayed. For reference, there's a bathroom.
And so it's interesting. You said the bathrooms were like the cleanest part of the house.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. And is that what it would have looked like on the day of the body cam footage?
Now this room was not filthy. There wasn't a lot of stuff in it, like the other rooms, but there was more than this. I mean, it was dirtier than this, but it was
right. So far, none of the images you would say are from that day.
No, none.
So it doesn't appear like he really even weaved in any photographs that were actually from the day. Maybe the drug scale you're saying, yeah.
The next photo, yep.
Yeah, the next photograph.
All right. There we go.
So this is the first photograph that you can pretty much conclusively say was taken on the day of, because who else would be able to take this photograph other than the police, right?
Right.
And so which bathroom was this?
That's in the hallway near their room, on the way to the kitchen and living room.
Would you say the kids would have access to this bathroom?
Oh, definitely. But the drugs were not found in that bathroom.
Okay.
They're just laying it out for a photo. But look at this, folks. We look at the baggie here. All the people who wrote about this said about the bag with a KKK written on it. And there it is.
And there it is. And that's a detail that would be impossible to make up, in my opinion. So this goes to show you guys did actually see the footage, and it adds a lot more credibility to the testimony.
Definitely. There it is. There's the weigh-in right there. Okay, yeah, the bathroom. I'm assuming this was fine, or you didn't see this, right? Like,
that's the master bathroom, and Officer Pomplin never walked in there. He did glance in there once, and that's the bathroom the dog lives in. So I didn't get an inside glimpse of this bathroom.
So for those of you for those people out there who don't know, explain what you just said. The bathroom the dog lives in?
Right. Yeah, there's a baby gate up, and the dog lives in that bathroom.
So the Rekieta family has a pug, a tiny dog,
Sunny.
And Sunny, pretty much 24/7, 365, is forced to live in this tiny bathroom. And we're going to see evidence because they don't even take the dog out to the bathroom.
Yeah.
They don't even take him out to the yard. The dog does his business on the floor of the bathroom, pees and poos on the floor of the bathroom.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I
can
don't-
see it right there. So if we scroll over to the left, we can see dog shit
Oh.
on the floor of the bathroom, which is disgusting. I don't know of anybody outside of actual drug addict bums who live like that. And I guess it's fitting because they were drug addict bums. Do you have any thoughts? Is this how the bathroom looked to you on the body cam? Or is this seems like it's been cleaned up or what?
Like I said, he only glanced in there. I think the other cam view, I think they went in there, but I didn't get that far in that video. But I don't remember a pad being on the ground from the view I saw when he did look in there.
So-
I didn't see this guy. Did you see this?
The pad was added for sanitation reasons.
Yeah, like after.
Is
You
that
remember-
all?
Yeah. Who's this guy?
I
You don't-
cannot. I didn't actually look at these pictures as close as I should have.
Did you see on the body cam though an officer like that who was bald? He looks potentially darker Caucasian, potentially Hispanic. It's kind of hard to tell.
Possibly
don't think I-
a small beard. Possibly.
I don't think I saw a bald officer.
Okay.
So this could have been on a later date. It's hard to tell.
I'm pretty sure it was there. The other person said there was a lot more stuff on the counters, like products.
Okay.
Like
And there's the poor dog, Sonny, that is confined to this bathroom all day and all night while these degenerates are swinging over in the other room and doing drugs. By the way, notice this. Scroll down. Did you see the dog door they have?
Yeah.
That's a Bible verse about how children are a blessing from the Lord that they've then fashioned into a makeshift doggy door, which is
I was
kind of
wondering, I see-
disrespectful to the premise there.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the Lord. I see something from the Lord. They put this piece of wood that you hang on the wall, like
Yeah.
probably, as the blockage for the dog to not leave. That's
Oh wait,
Well-
wait. So that proves it was a different day because it was an actual baby gate.
Oh, okay.
Really? Okay. Interesting. This is a like someone saying that there's poop on the floor there. Yep, okay.
These are pretty much just repeat.
And they took the dog out partway through the search out of there. So I would think that the dog wouldn't have been in there when they took pictures.
So these are, I think this is what Rekieta claimed the spent casings the officers found was this sculpture or whatever. Is that the case?
I did not see a close up of the casings.
Okay.
I talking about them, but I didn't see them.
Okay. Look, if cops are gonna write casings on a report, this is not even close to a casing.
Mm-mm.
Come on. Like the cop just went, he looked, saw that and went, casing. When they're like
Yeah.
searching the house thoroughly with gloves on. Come on. So Ash, is that all
Okay.
the photos or do we have more there?
I believe that's all of the photos of the house that I saw. Maybe there are a few that I did miss, but I think that is the extent of it. Is there anything else that you want to say about what you saw on the body cam or any misconceptions that might have been out there or things you want to clarify, Mama Kay?
Let's see. I have some notes I'm going through. I don't know that any of them are regarding the.
I'm going to ask you something. Why do you think Nick withheld pictures of the bedrooms, specifically the master bedroom? We have no photos whatsoever of what the master bedroom was like.
Because it was a hoarded mess.
Okay. It was
Yeah.
a horrid mess. What did the master bedroom look like? Because that was the scene of a lot of the activity. What would you say it was on the scale again?
A 5.
A 5.
Yeah, and I went to their actual real estate listings to look at the house after I saw it, and a lot of the rooms I don't even recognize, and I cannot believe how big that room actually is. Um, because it seemed so much smaller because there's just such a small walkway around the bed and at the end of the bed and on the sides. And yeah, there was in that window seal there was bottles and it was just a ton of stuff in their closets. It was just
Mhm.
jam packed
Yeah.
full of stuff.
Nick didn't take any pictures or show any pictures rather of the front door. Did you notice any damage to it at all? Like was it like completely taken off the hinges or
No, I think it just busted right at the lock area. I don't think it did
okay.
much.
Okay. So if you want to take a second there to take a look at your notes and compose yourself and make sure you get in everything that you want to get in, I'm going to
Definitely.
have a quick look at maybe some questions that may have come in from our audience. Okay. Let me see here. Sneedberg Stein Goldman asked for 20. Does Nick give off the ick? I'm not sure if you know that hip phrase the youngsters say, the ick. But did you
Yeah,
get the ick from Nick?
of course, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Everybody I've talked to that have gone to the different hearings, and they've all said they've all felt either dark energy, giving them weird feelings. Like everybody has said it. So
And then we do have just a fun question from Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 10. He asks on a scale of 1 to 9, how cute was the cat?
Yeah.
oh, little Garfield cat, oh, big Garfield cat. Yeah. And it made 3 appearances. Now, in the beginning, when it came, I think from up the stairs when they first came in and when they were getting the kids outside, she picked it up. But then later, when they were going downstairs, and they were downstairs in that area where like the arcade stuff is and the drums, it made an appearance again coming down the stairs. And then there was a third time. It made 3 appearances in the video. Very cute.
Nice.
Yeah. I heard the kids talking. So the third time, an officer was going in and out, and he asked the kids, "Is the cat allowed out?" And they said yes. And I overheard the conversation where they said they have 4, they have 3 cats, but they used to have 4, and 1 died. And
Okay.
yeah, I don't know where the other 3 cats were.
All
Okay.
right. Anything
All
else?
right,
Ash?
let's no, that's all that we have
Well,
actually from the audience.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, if you do want to submit a question down below in the chat, you can click on Dono chat. You can send in a question. It's a minimum of $4 if you want a question answered at this point. Okay. Do you have anything there in your notes that you want to bring up?
Not concerning the body cam footage. If you want to discuss other things, I do have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go on and tell us everything that you want. This is your platform to speak whatever you need to.
So I think it was in his rant against me or somewhere recently, he said something about that I told him about being molested or abused.
Right.
That didn't happen. Now, in that conversation we did have at the courthouse, there was a point I said, I told him that as a kid, every wish I ever made, whether it was on blowing out my birthday candles on a star, or blowing a dandelion, every wish I ever made was to have my family be happy and healthy and my mom to be sober, my parents to be sober. And I said, it breaks my heart to think that your kids may do the same. And
How does
That-
it feel to have that used as a cudgel against you?
it just goes to show who he is as a person. I mean, but to try to say I opened up to him and shared specific stories like that, like,
But even if you did, doesn't it show his character that he would use that as a negative against you?
absolutely.
Instead of it being obvious that that's something that motivates you to do what's right, he's then trying to turn that and twist that into something where it's making you do wrong and making you tell lies.
Right. And yeah, and he sees it as a negative. And the way he says,
Sick.
People cannot care about his kids. You can't care about kids that you don't know. I think that speaks to him. He can't. But most people can. Most people have empathy. And it's up to the community to, when kids are falling through the cracks, it's up to individuals to stand up and say, this is not right. Somebody needs to do right by these kids.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, also, do you think, like, I mean, his job has been to examine other people's lives through cases, right? So I really don't see why he'd be surprised as a public figure to be like, why are people interested? And obviously, when you watch the video, when we hear these stories, it actually affects us when we're like, no, we will point and call it out, right? I mean, that's why you're here, right? You told me, you were like, no, he can't get away with this because he's trying to, like, muddy the waters and smudge the truth. And we appreciate you actually coming out, and that's why we care, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have anything else in your notes that you want to bring up and discuss?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that they say that how would they have their kids back if there was obvious abuse or whatever. I'm going to pull up these notes. Now this is kind of long, and there's actually facts and statistics. I won't go over all of it and bore your audience.
No, I mean, go into detail because I think this is really important because Rekieta tries to make the claim because his kids were returned to him, and because they were returned to him, I think, what was it, within 200 days or something like this, he tries to say, well, that proves that, my daughter obviously didn't test positive for cocaine. Why would they return them to me if that was the case? Blah, blah, blah. But you're saying, you can contradict that narrative of his.
Yes.
Okay.
Minnesota is known as one of the worst states as far as this goes. So I'm going to read the notes I have on it. Hundreds of children in Minnesota are harmed annually when returned to homes where the initial issues leading to their removal, like abuse or neglect, remain unresolved. From 2012 to 2022, 86 children died from maltreatment and 11 others committed suicide following child protection cases. This highlights systematic failures in ensuring safe environments before reunification. Minnesota screens only about 31% of reports. They only screen 31% of the reports that come in of neglect and abuse. That's
Crazy.
the average is 50%. This low screening rate often delays interventions, leaving children in risky situations. A big problem is a decentralized system across Minnesota. So Minnesota has over 80 plus small little counties.
In each county, there's no oversight from the state, is what you're saying.
They're fragmented. They each have their own oversight, and they all vary in how they respond to them. So there's not one central, like one way they all respond. They each respond differently. So it leaves inconsistencies. So parental drug use, including cases involving substances like cocaine, often factor into child removal. However, proving direct parental responsibility for a child's exposure can be challenging without evidence of deliberate endangerment or negligence, which may explain why criminal charges are not always pursued. So it seems like if they can't prove exactly how a child was exposed, if they can't have a specific story of how it happened, they don't bring charges.
Even if they test positive.
Even if they test positive, they need to know. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
isn't it?
Yeah, that makes like
That's f***ed.
oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
So
wow.
it
He got
doesn't-
lucky. He got lucky with it, the way they cover like this. CPS covers this, right?
But how could you ever prove it? I guess the child has to come forward and explain it, I suppose, right?
You find coke. They're on coke. Can't you it's not circumstantial at this point. It's forensic evidence. I don't
Right.
understand.
Well, and the child is the responsibility of the parents. If something happens to that child, it should be on the parents to take the responsibility no matter what. They are responsible and
Yeah.
negligent if something happens to them.
Well, and that's one thing I was going to ask you too, because Rekieta brings up that the nanny gave his kids booze. She was drunk on the job. She gave them energy. But ultimately, at the end of the day, are they, as the parents, not responsible for what happens? Because they've put the children under her care. And apparently, according to Rekieta, even after he found out she was drunk as a skunk on the phone, the kids were still in the nanny's care.
Yeah, anything after that supposed happening, anything after that would 100% is on them.
It's crazy.
And he admits that they didn't fire her right away or at all. They didn't fire her.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's an issue like wealthier and more privileged families often face less scrutiny due to systematic biases. For example, racial and economic disparities lead to
Disproportionate. Yeah.
Impacts of Black and Native American children in Minnesota's child protection system. Families from marginalized backgrounds are more likely to experience invasive interventions, even when circumstances are comparable to those in more affluent households. So his privilege.
I mean, it's just not taken seriously because, they're from a wealthy family and they're like, well, obviously this is going to be okay because they come from wealth and privilege. But from what you've seen on the body cam, it was not okay.
No.
It was not a situation fit for children.
Right. So the child protection systems often prioritize family. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden.
It's okay.
All good.
Prioritize family reunification, believing it to be in the best interest of the child, provided parents take steps to improve their circumstances. Criminal charges are not always pursued unless there is clear evidence of intentional harm or gross negligence. For criminal charges to be filed, prosecutors typically require concrete evidence that directly links the parent's actions to the harm. In cases of drug exposure, proving intent or recklessness can be difficult if the parent denies knowledge of the child's exposure.
Right. I mean, it was obviously reckless. There's drugs all over the house. Apparently, the pillow tested positive for cocaine. You have the scales. You have the snort tube out on the bedside table. But I guess not reckless enough to bring charges forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Do you think that he has redemption from what you've seen in the future at all? Do you think that what would Nick have to do to be like, okay, he's learned his lesson and, he's growing from this? What do you think? Or do you think this is too far?
Realistically, I mean, the way he acts and the way everything he presents that's not happening. That's just not going to happen.
Mhm.
I mean, of course, everybody could redeem themselves just with changing their behavior and demonstrating that they have a pattern of changed behavior and that they've learned and acknowledge and take responsibility. But none of that is happening.
Yeah.
So somebody did ask Baldo's Revenge for 10. How many Baldos or adult toys were on display in the body cam footage that you saw?
I didn't directly see any, but there was references to them, and I really wish I could have got to the end. Neither one of us got to the end of the second one. At the end of Pomplin's video, he went into the closet, and I think it was Officer Robbie, the other one. I think it would have been on the end of the other one had I got there or she got there. He was in the back of the closet. There was open shelves of things, and he was saying there was a ton of edibles and he said adult stuff.
Adult toys,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, yeah.
So,
So Baldo
The
referenced, at
officers
least.
talked about it, but it wasn't seen on the body cam. Maybe later on the other body cam, because there's a number of different perspectives, you would have seen it, but you just didn't have enough time.
And if we had time to pause, rewind, zoom in, I'm sure something
You might
would
have been able to
probably
see it.
been found. But yeah, with all the stuff to try to see in one go, yeah, I didn't.
Now, Review Felted North Korea asks, what do you think the appropriate punishment for Rekieta would have been or should be?
I think he should have had mandatory rehab, like inpatient rehab. I think that should have been non-negotiable.
Yeah, minimum, right? That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, you have drugs around kids and this, that, the other. Like, how is it outpatient rehab? You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 90 days, 30 at very minimum, preferably.
And how he can't see that optically it would be a good thing to do that, even if you don't want to at least say, listen, I went to rehab, I checked myself in, I took the appropriate steps. To me, it's crazy that he didn't just go ahead and do that on his own, that he had to be forced by the court, and the court didn't even force him. I mean, it's crazy. We got Gigi Evan for 10. He asks, what was one of the best or worst lines of dialogue that you heard when you were listening to the body cam footage?
For sure. I hope you get gonorrhea and die.
Yeah, I would say. And then we have your mom is watching for 5. Nick says the officers were horrible to him. How were they really throughout the encounter?
Very, very professional. I expected to hear more comments about the bill. I expected to hear like little snarky, snide comments. There was maybe a couple of minor little, like this is a lot, or like looking around and going, oh, like that kind of thing. It was
They also asked, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it was minimal.
Okay. Somebody asked, was April scared? The fact Nick only asked the cops about April and not really Kayla is very telling, isn't it?
Well, and so there was I didn't agree with how the cops handled the whole situation. They could have searched a lot more thoroughly, and I bet they would have found a lot more. Also, when they were outside, Kayla and the kids were against the wall over here, and April was sitting on something right outside the front door, and they left Nick standing right by her. And the cop that was supervising them, they were all not handcuffed. And the cop that was supervising them had his back to Nick and April. So they could have been making eye contact and trying to, I saw an actual, when Pomplin looked at, maybe it was Robbie's, one of them, they looked at them long enough to where I saw April making eyes at him, like trying to talk to him with her eyes. I was like, they're there that whole time. I bet they've been saying little things to each other, or at least trying. to find an opportunity to. And yeah, they weren't handcuffed until later.
Okay. Well, I guess Rekieta has gone live.
Yeah, I was just reading the chat there.
I don't know whether he's going to go after you for what you've said on the program or what's going on. I guess he's upset. But I was going to ask you, what are your planned next steps for this? Like, you've done a lot of reporting on this. Are you planning on continuing to report on the case locally? Or do you think this is going to be kind of your last time speaking on this or reporting on this?
You know, I've really debated on making a channel myself because watching this, I've had a lot to say, and I don't really have much of an online presence. And I don't have any communities to talk to anybody about any of this, and nobody in my family or friends is following it. So I'm like, I have things to say and nobody to talk to about it. So I've been tempted to make videos before, but my confidence is super low, and coming live and stuff
you did fantastic. You did fantastic. Yes, for being nervous.
I would say for your very first time, having no experience with it at all in front of an audience of 6,000 live people, you handled yourself incredibly well.
Very well.
Okay. And it's natural to be very nervous. And the more you do it, the less nervous you will be. Okay. So I really encourage you, if you feel like you have opinions that you want to get out there, absolutely do it. But with the situation with Rekieta, he's a very vengeful, spiteful guy. So you got to be prepared for him. And he's also starting to get litigious. So you got to be a little bit concerned about that.
Yeah.
And if you make a channel, we'll promote it. We'll tell people where to find it. We'll watch clips if it's anything relevant to our show and stories. So just letting you know. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he followed me. Well, one time leaving court, he was behind me at a stoplight when Kayla was driving. And I was like, I think he got my license plate number. And he might try to dox me.
Ooh.
So being local, there is a little more worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like he does, like what Ashton was saying, he is very vengeful and will tweet, but don't let his pressure scare you. Honestly, he's a bum.
I think that he has a lot bigger problems to worry about than you, to be honest. And is there anything that you want to say in conclusion, anything you want to get out there, or do you feel like you've got out there everything that you need to say?
I asked the other two women, the one that was supposed to go and the one that did go, if they had anything they wanted me to say on their behalf tonight. So I wrote down some things.
Okay, perfect.
So the one that took notes said, Nick knows the reality of what he did to his family, and he should be lucky if his kids even want to spit in his direction when they're older. Mm-hmm. He's killing himself slowly right now with drugs just so he can get out of future consequences of his neglect. It's pussy behavior, and he's more of a coward than Ethan Ralph in that regard. And she has more respect for Ethan Ralph than Nick.
Wow.
The other reporter that she wasn't able to make it, she was really disappointed it got shut down before she could do her part. She said to tell the two of you, hi, she appreciates that you stuck up for the court Kiwis at Nick's hearing last August. And regarding Nick, she said, Nick with women, she said the only good women, according to Nick, are the ones who let him snort coke off their boobs.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how he views women, especially with the way that he's treated the mother of his kids. It's absolutely shameful. We appreciate you coming on, Mama K. You were very brave. You were really brave coming on. You did a really good job, better than anybody could expect, considering it was your first time on the air. You had something quick you wanted to say?
Yeah. So, I did go on Will Heron's channel for interviews when I went to the hearings. His last interview with me he took it down. And there's a narrative out there that Nick made him take it down, or that he took it down. I want to clear that up. And this is, again, me being objective. It was on me. I told him to take that down.
Okay.
And I wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
I told him to take it down because it was unprofessional and a bad look. He was in Mexico getting dental surgery done, and he didn't have teeth at the time.
Oh.
And he was inebriated from the medication.
Oh no.
And there was like Mexican music blaring in the background. And, you know, I thought we had a like mutual respect. And I was like, you know, I think it might be better if you just take that down, and that's fine with. And so I just want to clear that up. That was on me. You know, because a lot of people are like, Nick made him take it down, or you know, they're giving him a hard time about that. And I just want to make sure that the truth is out there.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
We'd be glad to have you on anytime in the future if there's anything you'd want to discuss related to this or anything else. Really appreciate your time. Oh, go ahead.
I will probably cover, if I don't know if civil cases, if you can go to the courthouse, but if I can go to the monograph case, or if any more lawsuits come up, any more.
You hit us up.
Let us know.
That would be great.
We'll definitely love to have your report.
The woman on the ground.
All right. We appreciate it. We hope you have a great rest of your night. Okay. Take it easy.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mama Kay. Appreciate you.
You too.
All righty. Let's go into other call. 1 second.
Thought that went really well. You never really know what you're gonna get, especially with a person that's never done any sort of a live broadcast before. You know, it's tough when you're put on the spot and there's a lot of pressure and limelight on you. And I think she did very admirably, given the circumstances. I think there was some good info that was disclosed. And certainly the best part was seeing Rekieta's bullshit lies and narratives be debunked by somebody with firsthand knowledge. Andy, what did you think of Mama Kay?
I thought it was fantastic. It was great. She really cleared up a lot of this stuff that was like the okay, but hearing everything, it really cleared everything up, sort of. And it really does prove that the body cam is fucking real.
Yes, it's real.
That's the bottom
it's
line.
real. Come on.
No
Come
doubts
on.
about
that
that.
lady. She didn't have a nasty bone in her body.
At all.
None of it was petty or trying to embarrass Nick.
Like
And
drama, like vibe.
You know, I was even trying to lead her into being more dramatic
Me
or
too,
more
on a few
petty.
parts.
You know, I'm like, how did he smell?
Like
you
the
know, was he
percentage of the
thinking
floor
it?
you saw.
You know, but you know, she was just honest and straightforward, and she was just a normal, you know, middle-aged woman who felt like she was doing the right thing.
Yes.
She clearly had, you know, some experiences in her past that led her to feel like, you know, nobody stood up for me back then, and I want to stand up for these kids now. And, you know, it's the truth is, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. And so it does really sometimes take the community to raise kids, to protect kids. And this is an example of that. And for Rekieta to try and turn that around and use her trauma and her childhood abuse as a cudgel against her is fucking disgusting. For him to think it's acceptable to go up to a woman in the courtroom and try and intimidate her using that and manipulate her using that is fucking disgusting. He's an animal and he's a fucking piece of shit. Shame on him.
Well,
and his
Ash,
children, I'm sure, are embarrassed of him.
I would say out of the entire interview, the one thing that we saw when I zoomed in, the baggie with a KKK on it, because literally, how would anyone know that? How would anyone know
wouldn't.
that?
They wouldn't. And that wasn't public knowledge. I don't even think that was in any of the police reports.
No.
It wasn't.
No, it
that
wasn't.
were available.
Mhm.
And I don't think the skeleton was either. And so I think those two things, there's no way people could have known. And so obviously they did watch the body cam footage, those 3 women. And I think their testimony is very credible and powerful. I know it was a bit more of a serious segment than we typically do on the show. And there wasn't like a ton of laughs or got you moments. But I think the change of pace was kind of nice. And I hope you guys felt we did a good enough job with it and that we treated it in a respectful and professional as our show can be.
I apologize, guys. I sort of went off I made a few jokes, but then I realized I should probably fucking tone it down. People in chat were telling me to chill out. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's just sort of like, I think the reason I was joking at one point is this shit has been so fucking serious. Right? So intense and serious and so long that I'm almost like laughing at how insane this situation is. How the fuck do we have Rekieta, top tier YouTuber, lawyer, biggest fucking streamer, biggest donated channel ever, turn into like what I could just say is like fucking a movie. It's clown show. Yeah. So I'm almost laughing and making jokes that like, is this even real? Is this even a real situation?
A circus, sideshow, freak fucking show. And of course, we want to make jokes at Rekieta's expense. We want to mock him and humiliate him and make him feel shame and narcissistic injury.
But with her there, you want to be more respectful.
At the same time, you want to balance it with respect for her, but respect for the kids and their situation also. Okay, let's go into our miscellaneous Rekieta seed.
Okay.
So Alyssa Clips has gathered a number of clips of Rekieta seething at us and other people. And then we're going to have a look at EVS shitting on Rekieta, which is a very, very funny moment for me. Very vindicating moment to have one of the last of the Baldohicans put the fucking knife in Rekieta.
Yeah.
Kino shit. All right, so we're going to go into miscellaneous Rekieta seeds. And I don't know if this statement is going to hold up from Rekieta, but it's him saying he doesn't care about the Kino Casino. And there's nothing left to spill about his life. And so there's no worries. We could have April on for an interview, he said. We could have anybody on, and it wouldn't affect him at all. Yeah. Now, we'll see if that holds true in the coming hours and days. I don't think it will, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, I got some crazy shit that I'll tell Ash. Like, there's stuff that we are... Like, this is just the beginning, folks. If he had just... If he had just shut the fuck up, bro... None of this would happen the way it's happening.
Well, during this, he's going to say, I just wish everybody would move on. And Rekieta, I want to move on, bro. I don't want to be talking about you because you're a disgusting, boring bum. Like, I'll be real. Like, you're just a seething, lying scumbag. And pretty much everybody knows it now. And so I don't want to have to keep doing this either. But the thing is, you have to move on first before anybody else is going to move on. You have to move on, Rekieta. You have to accept your reputation is f***ed because of your own actions. You have to accept you can't control the narrative. There's no magical series of words or videos or tweets or anything that's going to magically make all of this go away. You have to make your peace with it. Shut your f***ing mouth. Just stop bringing it up. You've said what you needed to say. The fact that you're like releasing these pictures, trying to control the narrative, it's only harming you, bro. And that's like my honest advice. What's best for you, what's best for your family, stop talking about this stuff. Don't even bother apologizing because we all know the apology is insincere. You don't care. You're unrepentant. All you have to do at this point, shut up, do your law stream to your diehard cultists who will fucking suck your baldo, okay? They don't care what you did to your kids, which is disgraceful, but there's people who, they just want to be entertained or whatever, or they want to forgive you, or they love you so much, they're still going to watch. Just do your fucking law show, shut your mouth, and everything. I'm not going to say it's going to be fine, but it'll be a lot better than continuing to try and do this and spiraling down the tubes. That's my best advice.
Everything you just said, for him, he won't fucking care. He won't do.
I
He
know.
never learned. I know
I
because we try. So
I was almost to the point of privately reaching out to him. And I was like thinking in my head, what do I say to reach this guy? And then I just realized, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? He's not going to fucking listen. He's not listening to his own wife and fucking kids.
Yeah.
He's not going to fucking listen to me. There's nothing I can do to stop this self-destruction of this man. And honestly, at a certain point, I said to myself, why am I fuck him? If he deserves worse than what he's got, honestly. But I was like, for the sake of his fam, maybe I'll reach out, say, bro, like, come on, man, you got to just stop spiraling. But he's not listening to anybody. I think EVS, Ethan Van Sciver, tried to have a similar intervention with him earlier in the week, and he just won't fucking listen. So at a certain point, it's like, okay, you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. When are you going to fucking learn? Probably never. All right, let's have a look at this.
if I could ask the audience, anyone out there for a favor, could you please OBS what's happening over on Nick's stream right now? Please.
Do we go snipe it for a minute? Like, what's going on?
I'm not sure. I mean, like from what I get.
It's gonna be boring as f- is the problem, because he's just such a gaseous windbag of boredom.
Well, there was a
He's not streaming, somebody said.
did he just stop?
Let me see.
Okay, someone said they might hang on. I'm just double checking, making sure. Is it on a different hang on? I think I might have
No, he's not live.
No, he is live apparently.
They have to
He's
punish the
live
criminal.
on
Oh.
BYB. Okay.
BYB podcast.
Right.
All right, guys. Someone can OBS that for us? It's really boring. I guess what happened while we were doing this, fake images of the body cam were released, and he's just trying to defend.
And so I think he thinks the real body cam came out. And the thing is, I didn't want to show Mama K the questionable body cam because I didn't want her to say it's not real and then Rekieta not fucking melt down. So that's why for Jesse's people or whatever, I didn't say anything because he was melting down and I don't think it actually is real.
Well, everyone's saying it's AI. Like from everyone who DM'd me, they're all saying they're AI. And they're just troll or whatever. So,
I was hoping he was going to fucking melt down. So I'm like, if I show this and it's not real, then it might get back to Rekieta. I think at this point, it doesn't really matter though. One way or the other.
And he's seething about April's parents and how they abandoned him or her.
Oh my God. What the See, this is what's crazy. Like, he needs to just shut the fuck. The more details he gives, the more fuel he throws on to the flames.
Ash, he said this. He's talking about April's parents, how they abandoned her, and he was her savior.
Oh my God. By getting her hooked on fucking coke.
Stop.
And putting her on fucking whippets. But you know what EVS said about this is so true. It's like, why the fuck is everybody trying to be April's white knight fucking simp and arguing over how she was abused by this person or abused by that person? I don't give a fuck about April. And trying to grant it, she is a grown ass adult that was like, what, almost 30 fucking years old? Listen, she is responsible for her own fucking decisions. She chose to become a dirty coke whore for a fucking married man with 5 kids. And while 5 kids were sitting out in the other room, she was sucking coke off this fucking married man's dick. So I really don't have a lot of sympathy for homewrecker April and her bullshit.
Just wait until April goes on the casino and
Oh, hold on. I can't hear it.
Oh, I have to reshare. Sorry, because we started.
Look at how felted he is.
You don't even hear to know how felty he is.
Look at how felted he's doing the felted face. Look at that. He looked right down.
Wait until April goes on the casino.
As soon as he heard the casino, his eyes stared right down at the felt. He's like, no. It hurts his soul. Listen, if April came on the casino, it would be so devastating. Rekieta's going to try and cope and say there's nothing left to spill. Come on. Just hit
Okay.
play. Listen to the cope. So apparently Apes told it all. I don't think that's the case, just based on the limited text we saw from Keanu and just based on common sense. Because if we got April on this show, so how big was his penis?
I mean,
Could he get hard? Did he smell bad? What about these bloody sheets? Like, there's so much to say. So he promised you Kayla was going to leave him, or he was going to leave Kayla for you. How did the split up work? Da, 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 da. Who was the cock? Who watched where and when?
bro, this is
Like,
an
it would
iceberg.
be crazy.
This is an iceberg story. There is so much we don't know that what we're looking at.
Did you enjoy taking the Baldo?
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
Like,
if we're like shocked by what we know, imagine what we don't know. What's been happening? Come on.
Name your price, Ape. Name your
Yes.
price.
$5
You know what?
grand.
What is it? What is it gonna take to get you on here for the interview with us and Josh Moon? What is it gonna take? Because listen, you're gonna get lots of attention. Maybe we'll make you
Third chair for a week.
Third chair for a week. Does it interest? You can promote your new channel. You're gonna do your internet grift live show where it's all Baldo logging all day 24/7. I don't know.
Yep. Very, very funny. Very intense.
We're gonna move her into the casino side house.
And spills everything, Nick.
Okay. I don't know what hasn't been spilled yet at this point.
Oh, come
Guys,
on. There's got to be so much more. There's so much more. Look at that face.
Look
It's
at
such
the
a
eye.
lie. It's such a lie, bro. Come on. Come on.
Wait, is he immersed out right now? Look at this. His eyes.
Way too much about my life already.
We don't know enough.
So knowing more isn't going to really, like, again, I would prefer people let it go just because, there's other people involved. I
But
don't
you
really care
have
on
to
my
let
front.
it go. You have to let it go first. You have to stop trying to control the narrative and talking about this and getting into the drama, Nick. Once you do that, if you just focus on your law stream for 6 months to a year, guaranteed 90% of the interest goes away.
Mhm.
There's always going to be a diehard group of people who are going to try and hold you accountable and aren't going to let it go. But a lot of people will just forget about it and move on to the next thing. But not if you keep acting like this. And that's my straight up honest advice. All right.
It doesn't bother me at all.
It obviously
doesn't
does
bother-
bother you.
Buddy.
Listen to how you're saying, it doesn't bother me at all, guys. Like, who do you think you're fooling? Like, why are you doing this?
That's ridiculous.
People can talk about what I did or didn't do all day. And they do
But
constantly.
it makes you seethe.
That being
Look
said,
at
I
him.
really
He's
don't
so
know what there
mad.
would be to reveal or spill. I mean,
There's
most
so
people
much
believe a bunch of
more.
shit that isn't true. That's worse than anything that would come out. So,
Then why
like,
don't
it'd
you
be
just reveal the body cam footage? If people are believing things that are worse than how it actually was, just show us how it actually was, Nick.
Yeah, exactly.
People, just show us how it actually was, and then everybody's gonna laugh at you. Everybody's gonna say you're a shitty father and you're abusive, but they're already saying that anyway. So let's just get it all out on the fucking table and show everybody how it was, and then just never talk about it again.
anything coming out would go backwards in things. It would look better, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Yo, Nick, I do not understand this whole Kino Casino thing. I checked it out once, and all I could see was some fat, Krang-looking motherfucker spewing hate and
I'm
cheese
looking
doodles.
at
Okay.
especially
Well,
Krang.
you're
I'm
very
looking
Krang
especially
today.
Krang. Like I was leaning into it there, Rekieta.
It actually
It's very
fucking worked,
Krang
yeah.
like today, buddy. Most other days, no, but today, yes.
Some fat, Krang looking motherfucker. That was funny. I like that.
And weird.
I don't get it. I mean, PvP and Andy are relatively entertaining people in general.
Oh, bring it up, Casino Dub. Look at how
Bring
Falcon
it
he
up.
is having to say that. You know it burns him to his fucking core to have to admit that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just the facts, isn't it, Rockets? Look at him, zoom in on him, bro.
Thank you,
Wow,
Nick.
he looks rough. Oh, he looks tough, buddy. Look at those eyes. Ooh, soft Rockets.
I'm not the biggest fan for personal reasons, but like so. It just means I don't really want to talk to them or go on their show, but I'm not trying to shut it down. You bet there's a little to expose.
That's
Nick,
gonna
the
age
drugs.
poorly.
Ooh.
I guarantee you that's gonna age poorly. I'm not trying to shut it down. He's like, I'm filing a lawsuit, bitch. Will we see the lawsuit? Who knows?
Kids. The kids, our
Kids.
children. There's not really anything to expose there. And people's desire to like see the children is a little bit weird.
No one wants to see your kids. Okay.
No,
It's blurred
No,
out.
no,
Also,
nor can they see them because it's blurred out.
it's blurred
So
the
it's
fuck
just
out.
a total red herring bullshit from him, obfuscating and being obtuse as always.
So why is he putting the kids on recently on camera?
I know.
Right?
Well, it's to rub our face in it that he's getting away with it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all I can really think is like putting his daughter on screen in the same clothes 2 days in a row is just some like twisted villain shit to be like, look, I'm doing the same thing and nothing has changed.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
That being said, the drugs I've talked about extensively, rather openly. I don't know what people expect there to be that's different. My descriptions are pretty consistent with what's in the police report, I think. So,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I don't know. I don't know what else people are
Bro,
expecting to.
This guy is like a broken man. He's got to give it up. Like this guy is cooked. He's done.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in him. He's done. Get off the internet, Nick. Get off the fucking internet, man. Figure it out.
It's like we know what happened last year. We know what's been going on now, and it's like the reason we're still covering. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
Well, he looks like, you know,
okay,
I was
sorry,
just going to
yeah,
say, he
go
looks like a fucking oil painting or a wax sculpture or some shit.
ahead.
Like, it looks like he's AI created or something. Like, it doesn't even look real.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's crazy.
And the reason we keep bringing it up is because the story keeps changing, or it evolves, or
Yes.
pictures come out, or you lie, or you're talking about it, or you're seething. It's like there's so much to cover relevant to this one story. Yes, Nick. You know?
Yeah.
Find if there was some
How dare drama tubers cover internet drama?
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter who it is. It's not this personal thing with you,
Yeah.
right? If anybody was acting this way, we would fucking shit on them.
Yeah.
But it's coming from us also because you used to be on streams with Andy back in the day. I was on your show back in the day 5 years ago, right? So we have somewhat of a firsthand basis of knowing you. And so we have some sort of an insight into who the fuck you are. And it's crazy what you turned out to be. It shocks even me, who always thought you were a rotten, dirty piece of shit, just how much of a scoundrel you really are.
Yep.
something else. I would expect it to be in the police report. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Lord of the Ree says Keno Simps are just ass mad, bitch made faggots who are upset you're not rotting in prison. Apparently
What?
wishing for
Who is ass mad? Like, I don't know. Like, whoa, they're ass mad. Motherfucking guy's on probation. His whole reputation's fucking ruined. His show barely gets any viewership. He's down massively in terms of money from his peak to the point where it's barely even worth it for him to fucking stream. I would say we're pretty happy with the outcome. Guy keeps spiraling and losing his fucking mind, providing endless hours of entertainment for people. But no, everybody's real mad and they're real ass hurt.
Yeah, totally.
for anything but your death in prison counts as sweeping. Cope harder.
Wait, okay. So when you're covering a trial, Are you as mad as you do days and hours and hours and days and weeks
Well,
and weeks at the same time? Are you as mad or are
did
you
you hear?
covering?
Did you hear his cope?
No.
His cope was, well, tell me where I ever requested body cam footage of a trial. It's like, Rekieta, your whole shtick was you believe that every aspect of the process should be public
Yep.
and that people should be able to access body cams. He's like, well, because I personally never requested a body cam, then it's unreasonable for people to ask for transparency in my process. It's just completely missing the point.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Thanks, Lord of the Ree. Thanks for demonetizing the YouTube stream.
He's in a hard place.
Oh my
He needs
gosh.
those pennies in the gutter.
Yeah.
He needs those pennies of ad revenue. Okay, and then here we have him. This is just bizarre. This is just him never wanting to admit fault or that he took the suboptimal path. And here he is, he's justifying like his daughter having a husband open the relationship. on her.
Okay.
Would you be
This
okay
is
with one of
crazy.
your daughter's husbands taking a side chick? It doesn't really matter if I'd be okay with it, right?
Oh, buddy, what a
Wait. Can I
Look
hear
at
that again?
him.
I gotta hear that
And
again.
look at him. You know right well he knows it's wrong.
I gotta hear-
But he doesn't want to have to answer it in a way that would condemn his own selfish and bad behavior.
Oh.
Would you be okay with one of your daughter's husbands taking a side chick? It doesn't really matter if I'd be okay with it, right?
What do you mean? You can't
Wait.
have any thoughts about a situation that's clearly greasy and
What-
gross as a parent
It's like, would you be okay with your daughter being a prostitute?
or doing coke every
Well-
single day?
Well, that's her decision as an adult. Right. Like,
Yeah.
what a low down, slimy loser you are, Rekieta. Holy.
Why would a father even read that? Someone asked in chat. It's like,
like it's none of anybody's fucking business.
yeah.
To be honest, just keep your private life private. But oh no, he has to embarrass his children again. Why? What the fuck is wrong with you? And there's another clip where he says all the jokes about his kids are funny. And he laughs. And it's
What?
and he goes on about that for 7 minutes. It's like, are you okay? Like, he's clearly not okay. It's a fucking
No. Go ahead.
Like they're adults, they make their own decisions. I mean, presumably they're not now, but they will be.
But you think it
You
would be
know,
a bad
like,
decision, or you just are, I guess all decisions are just decisions. They're neither good nor bad.
So your
Right.
your daughter's husband finds a side chick while doing drugs with her, and your daughter's all crying and sad that she's lonely now and blah blah. And you're like, oh well, she's an adult. You can't go like, hey.
But
Go
He
ahead.
doesn't really believe
No, of
that.
course
The
not.
only reason he's saying that is because he doesn't want to condemn his own behavior. So he's gonna say something even worse.
Yeah.
Had he answered it, he shouldn't have even answered it in the first fucking place. But had he answered it, I made a horrible mistake with that. It was disgusting of me to do it. I let my base impulses take over, and I would never wish the pain that I caused upon Kayla to my daughter. Maybe people would have some respect for him for taking some accountability and showing repentance. But instead, he chooses this deranged fucking answer that makes him look like an evil piece of shit.
Yeah.
Again, not to sit and get into my personal drama at all.
Okay.
But
What?
What?
Whoa!
But-
Whoa! That might have been the most your statement. Whoa! I've heard in quite some time. What do you mean? Yeah, everything all day, every day is personal drama. You're arguing it with random people on Twitter day and night, responding to every single post they make. It's time to stop, please.
like again, not to sit and get into my personal drama. at all,
But-
Okay.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
the situation most people seem to think it is.
What?
And it definitely didn't come about the way that people think it came about. So that being said, it's up to them, I guess. Are they okay with it or
Right.
not? I don't know. I would hope that my children find the relationships they're looking for. It's the best way I can describe it. I don't necessarily know what those will
If
be.
your daughter is about to make a horrible decision by joining a fucking orgy gang bangs, like
Or like
Paul-
her boyfriend is in a cult that's gonna take her off to some compound somewhere where they're gonna drink the Kool-Aid and die.
Yeah.
You would make no efforts to stop that. Or she's joining like a biker gang where she's getting involved in criminal activity that's dangerous. Or she gets with a guy that she loves, but the husband is clearly beating her and is super fucking abusive. And you see her with black eyes and marks all over her. You would never intervene. You would go, oh, that's just her decision, right?
Yeah.
No, obviously not. What is wrong with this person?
Be or what they'll look like. I know mine never looked like what I thought it would from the very start.
Whoa,
I was
No
surprised.
shit.
whoa, buddy, just throw Kayla under the bus. Your marriage was never what you wanted it to be. What a fucking douchebag.
Oh my god.
By my own relationship the whole time.
myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the fell, the only thing that's real.
He needs to fucking figure it out. Get off the drugs. When we watch Ethan Van Sciver's fucking response,
Yeah, we're going there
perfect.
next.
Yeah.
And that'll be the perfect wrap up to our Rekieta segment. Then we'll
Yeah.
be on to iDubbbz and review
Yep.
tech. And the rest
Review
of the
tech.
Scoper
Whoa, you hype?
body.
In great ways most of the time, and then in bad ways some of the times. I think that's how life goes. I think that's how relationships grow and develop, and you make good and bad choices in them, and then after those good and bad choices, you choose to go on or you don't. I don't think it's as
Oh my
complicated as people want it to be.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, crazy,
All
crazy. Okay, so
It just gets crazier every day, doesn't it?
it doesn't
All right.
stop.
Here
okay?
we have the Ethan Van Sciver, and this is just chef's kiss.
Yep.
Too sweet. This guy was the Baldo guard of Baldo guards, Baldo washer of Baldo washers. With every twisted, sick, sordid detail that Nick would come up with, that would come out about him and his kids, he would defend it. Be like, well, why didn't the kids put in a load of laundry? Why didn't the kids clean the house? Why weren't the kids cooking their own meals? Like, he was crazy rabid defending Rekieta at every single turn. But finally, he's realized that this is a sunk cost. Rekieta is never, ever coming back to what he was. He'll never be 100,000 viewer live stream again. With this body cam footage transcript out there and the body cam footage, it looks like it may come out at some point. He knows it's over.
Yeah.
He knows it can't be defended anymore. So now he's jumping over to the other side and just fucking shanking Rekieta. And it's good to see. Because these people were all just, they had no actual moral reason to defend Rekieta. It was all just what they thought the wind was going to blow that way. And there was a financial benefit to them. But now they see there's more clout to being on the other side. So now he's snaking them. It's good to see.
Didn't Ethan Van Sciver, I'm sure he was fucking in jest when he said this, but he said something along the lines of maybe it was the 17-year-old's coke or something.
Yes, no, he did. Yes, he did. And let's not forget, even though he's going to preach here, he's still a scumbag, 400-pound, urinal-licking fucking walrus motherfucker who
But
smoked what looked like a crack pipe and then licked a fucking urinal. Okay? Let us never forget that he's also the throat goat. And apparently he was fucking sucking behind a pizza location.
Man.
Whoa, buddy!
All right, here, I sent you something funny if you want to read that real quick. All right.
No! Let's get 12 subs right now to smash Ralph's entire daily earnings. Apparently, Ralph wage quit today at $53 of support.
I saw Raphael Mania's tweet.
No, Ralph, no.
Let me just double
Ralph,
check.
no. $53?
Yeah.
In how many? 6 hours?
Yeah. And I think 6
And
hours.
there's Busted Fuse for 25 subs.
Let's go.
Doubling up Ralph's
Yeah,
total.
let me show
And the
you.
Gun Ranger for 12 subs.
Let's go. Yeah.
Software Ralphie.
I have to show. I have to show
Ralph,
you this.
no.
This is from Raphael Mania. Look at that, Ash.
Oh no! But is the streak gonna continue? I guess he removed the streak, eh?
Yeah, he removed the
He's at-
streak.
oh
he did?
my god!
Wait.
He removed the streak, and the goal is down to a measly $125.
Because he's been missing it every day.
Ooh, it's tough out there for
Oh.
Gunty.
Oh shit! All
Tough for
right.
Gunty.
What was he on the streak? 218,
yeah, what's
but he
the
lost like
difference?
50. Like, come on, that didn't count. All right, here you go.
I'm sure he'll be back
EVX.
to it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. Big support, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the show. All right, let's go.
Aren't there bigger losers than Rekieta to work?
This is great.
Dude,
So good.
Marshall Harrison, how do you define what a loser is?
That's key. That's key. The
Well,
theory behind.
How do you even define what a loser is? Is it just someone who loses again and again? Or is it how much someone had and then lost? How do you even define loser?
Yeah. It's like I think, therefore I am. Like on that level.
It really is deep philosophy here.
I mean, there are some people who I would call losers who never were, who never had anything to begin with. People like Sturgis are losers, but he never had anything to begin with. Is there a bigger loser in the sense of the word that means you lost massively than Rekieta? And the answer to that is not that I can think of.
Oh, that's That's
he's
crazy.
the biggest loser in internet history. He's a bigger loser than Jarbo. He's a bigger loser than Jack Thompson there, Jack Murphy or whatever his name was, the cuckold.
Murphy.
He's a bigger fucking loser than Tonka Saw, buddy. A bigger loser than Baked Alaska and all the other fucking bums. Because he was so high up there and he's now been brought so low.
Okay, and I have to bring this
A
up.
bigger loser than Ralph. A bigger loser than Chris Chan.
Yo, I have to bring this up too. When I'm reading this comment on the bottom here from Marshall Harrison, he goes, "Aren't there bigger losers?" Okay, just like people on the left. Like, why worry about Rekieta when there's people on the left? Do we
Who
have
gives
to,
a
like,
shit? Are people fucking mind broken?
yeah.
Like, oh, at the woke left. Like, how about we clean our house first? How about we clean out the guy whose 9-year-old tested positive for coke?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
But it's like, okay, make fun of the left, but also, why does it have to be just the left? So ridiculous.
Can you think of anybody who lost bigger than Nick Rekieta? can't.
Yes.
And I like-
Yes.
Can
No,
you?
I actually can't, buddy.
Anyone in chat, if you have a suggestion, let us know.
like the guy. I think in a way, I'm honestly, I'll be honest.
Okay, not as bad. Ordering did lose all the money he made.
I
over
don't know.
but
The
it's not
guy, it was all
drugs
a
and-
lie and a grift. Like, it was shameless. He just
Yeah.
lied to his fans and then stole their money is
Yeah.
what he did. So
Andy Dick. Fair. But no,
Yeah.
but
you're saying like P. Diddy?
yeah,
Well, that's to be determined. He might still get away with it.
you know.
honest
don't
about
know.
it. I'm on
Coach-
edge about it a little
The
bit.
coach did lose pretty badly. I won't lie though.
Yeah, Coach Red Pill is dead.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I
tough.
can't. And I like the guy. I think in a way, I'm honestly, I'll be honest about it. I'm on edge about it a little bit because of this new video. Little on edge about it. Here's what I want for Nick.
But he's talking about the video where he
Nitrous
debated.
Yes, this is third world aristocrats cut up of Keanu just destroying Nick over and over and over again. And I guess EVS can tolerate a lot of things. He can tolerate the baldo. He can tolerate 9-year-olds testing positive for cocaine. He can tolerate children starving, children stinking, cocaine arrests, and fucking ghoulish mugshots of wives. He can tolerate all of that. But the one thing he can't tolerate is a guy getting bitched out in a blood sports by a dumbass bitch.
Okay.
That apparently is where Ethan Van Sciver draws the line, chat.
Keanu fucking pure felt it.
Let me just say this.
I guess
this
it's
is what
more embarrassing than all the rest of it was losing a blood sports to
Keanu.
Oh.
Like to see. And it's astonishing. I'm like 15 years older than Nick, I guess. How old is no, maybe 10 years. But I'm older than Nick. And I look at Nick's life and I just go, how is your life so fucked up already, dude?
He's just like, it's over.
That fucking sends me, bro. It's like, fuck, I'm like 15 years old. I look at you, I'm like, how is your life this up already? Like, your wife's gonna leave you, there's these criminal charges, you're getting felted by Kiki, your kids hate you, you're a loser. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you
got plenty of time. Pace yourself.
Pace yourself. It's like you're at the bar and you're drinking.
Life ruination. Fuck, man. You have like another 20 years to totally ruin your life and end up all alone.
What I want to see, I want to see Nick stay sober, stay off of drugs, stop getting high, pay attention to your wife, Kayla, stop f***ing around outside of your marriage. Okay?
The truth.
And it's only anyone's business because it's on the internet nonstop.
Felted. Exactly.
Everybody would fucking forget about this shit and move on to the next degenerate lolcow. But he keeps going on and on and on. Stuff like Hackamania, which was a huge backfire. This Keanu debate. Now posting the pictures of the house and going to war with the farms and the Josh's Angels. It's just L after L after L. And it's like, how can people not talk about it?
Stop, and you're talking about it, and make things right with your kids. I mean, the fact that you're not in jail right now is a fucking miracle.
Yeah,
the Jews would call that a mitzvah.
Okay, whoa, Gabe.
Call it a mitzvah.
Why are you not in prison?
It really is like he should have been in prison with the deplorable conditions his kids were living in. How much drugs they found him with. Like, he should have been absolutely killed, nailed to the cross. They had guns and shit in the house and stuff like this, but by some miracle of miracles, he's been given a second chance and an opportunity to have it completely wiped away. That if he successfully completes the probation, it will be as though it never happened. And rather than actually dedicating himself to sobriety and to his family and maybe rediscovering his faith, he's choosing instead to argue with random people on Twitter, fight with Josh Moon, fight with fucking Keanu on stream, battle. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Go to Hackamania and relitigate all of the stuff with your ex-gay lover, Aaron. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And even EVS is like, look, shit's serious. Like, your fingers are turning blue. You're dying. You're taking fucking galaxy gas. This is cooked.
Be real for real. And chat said he was arguing with me on Twitter. And no offense, I'm assuming this is someone who's got no followers. He's like, why are you responding to me? You know, like, by the way, Gunt Ranger saying Mossad is now involved. Very funny.
Prison right now. You have another chance, and you're telling me and you're telling everybody that you're not addicted, you're not an addict. And you're doing whippets? You're getting high?
Bro, I'm off drugs, and even I can say I'm still an addict because it's like a battle daily. You know what I mean? Like, even I can say, look, I'm off drugs, but yes, I'm an addict because I was on drugs and I saw what it did to me. No shit. Why can't you just admit it? Just admit it. Listen, drugs fucking fuck me up. I can't do them. I do too much.
That's why he's not getting better, because the first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah, dude.
And he doesn't think he has a problem. He thinks that he was living his life the right way. And it's the prudes at the church, the Scandinavian incel prudes, as he calls them, the Kiwi farmers who betrayed him, Josh Moon, all of these people that are doing it to him. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and by the way, it's better to say you're an addict and you've battled it and recovered from it than saying you're not an addict and you look like a clear junkie.
Or here's an idea. Just say nothing. Just say nothing.
True.
You don't have to. Listen, fuck, bro. Just say nothing. But he has to lie and lie and lie and lie. And so it's just never going to end.
Yeah.
In a way that like drug tests aren't going to be able to discover. Like, you found a loophole so that you can continue to get high and get blasted out of your mind. And act like this. I mean, your voice sounds completely different. Your manner, your attitude sounds crazy.
Listen,
here's what I want.
When EVS has put down the broom and is speaking facts like this, you know shit's It's absolutely off the rails.
Yeah.
I want to see that you're clean and sober, like you say that you are. And that means don't fucking do whippets. Don't be high. Because when you're high, you make stupid mistakes. Yep. Stop it. And you're destroying yourself. You're destroying your fucking brain. You're destroying your body. If you're going to do that, at least do it with food, like me. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, what is this? Like, get away from these other women or this other particular woman. She's not your wife. You have a wife. Fix things with Kayla.
Not going to happen.
It is unfortunate that you introduced this woman to the entire internet. No, you guys don't even know Andrea. Like, you've seen a little bit of her and stuff like that, but I protected Andrea for the most part. You know a little about her. She's not on the show. She'll never be on the show.
Yeah.
Smart. Very smart.
But Kayla is on the internet and people know who she is and people connect you two together and you call her Lady Rackets and you invested a lot of people in your marriage, your union with her.
Sense. And by the way, back in the old days of Rekieta, where he actually had common sense before he bought into his own bullshit and got high on his own supply, okay, he had the same rule. And he said, like, Lady Rackets, she'll never be a part of this content. I'll never have her on camera. It would be unfair to my wife and kids. And then somewhere along the line, he decided that he was going to start sharing his private life with the internet. And he built a lot of his brand on the relationship that he had with Kayla and showing people, look, there's an alternative to the degeneracy of the left. I'm a small town family lawyer from Minnesota. Look, I'm married. Look at how in love I am with my wife, how happy we are together. We have 5 children together. We go to church every Sunday. We homeschool our kids. This is the lifestyle to aspire to. And he was a role model for people. And people said to him all the time, I look to you as like my dad. Or I look to you as a role model. And he would accept that role. And now that he's let everybody down, and it turns out that isn't who he was, or it no longer is who he was, and nobody can even tell, nobody even knows who the fuck he is, he can't seem to understand why people feel betrayed and people feel fucking pissed. And do they have a right to feel that way or not? Is it parasocial? In a way, it is parasocial. But listen, that's how the internet fucking works, bro. You invited it in, and now you have to deal with it.
Yep, exactly.
People, you know, I don't know how much she's involved in this or how much any of this is her choice, but I'm sure
she's leaving.
You know, she's an adult. I'm sure she's responsible for a lot of this, but man, those 5 kids at home, dude.
Wait, a money nerd says this in chat. It's so true. So, yeah, like he's saying, don't let a money ruin your lives like it did to Nick. That's what happened. Nick thought in his mind he was a rock star, which he kind of like
Yeah.
was the like YouTube nerd law version of a rock star, making all this money. He's obviously an addict, and you taste that fucking blow. You got all this money, and you just start to want more and more and more and more. And that's
Well,
why, yeah.
I think the root cause of it for him was getting this female attention that he never got at any other point in his life. He was always like a nerdy fucking guy. And then suddenly there are all these middle-aged why not women that are fucking horny for him because they want to be like what Kayla is. And it's like their fantasy to be with this law guy. So then he starts feeling like he's this badass motherfucker. He's Genghis Khan. Then he gets with Ape and all of this shit. Like, that's a lot of it too. And, you know, the guy just went way off the fucking deep end and just burned everything to the ground.
There are a lot of fun choices that you might have thought that you had. And I'm watching these videos on Alyssa Clips where you're talking about the fun choices that you have. You're out there to have complete and total fun. You've got 5 kids.
Yep.
5 kids at home.
For months and months and months.
I
While he
just
was
gotta ask, like, where was this take from Ethan Van Sciver last year? Whoa, Rekieta's f***ed up. That was a good zoom in. But where was this take last year? The most charitable reading that you could possibly give, and I don't believe that this is what EVS believes, but it might be what some of the Baldo washers believed was, okay, let's stand by this guy or at least not pile on while he goes through his court case. And then once he's done with court, then we'll see like if things have changed. Well, even like the most good faith person defending him at this point now knows, okay, he went through the court process. He pled guilty. He had this plea deal, but still nothing has changed. He's still making the same insane decisions over and over and over again. So they're like, F him. But I don't think that's EVS. I think that's just EVS realizing that this is a sunk cost and that there's no coming back for Rekieta and there's no clout left. So he's just like throwing him to the trash.
Yeah, because they probably, I mean, sometimes you'll see like a YouTuber on their way down, but you think about the numbers that they had. It's like with Ralph and Dick Masterson. Like Ralph held Dick Masterson at this level of he's a king. And when it's obviously not the truth when you look at the numbers, they looked at Nick as he was the #1 guy.
Yeah.
What if after this court case, he becomes the #1 guy again? I hop on his show and then I can ride the coattails there, you know?
was dragging her name through the mud online.
I've never seen.
I will say this too. It was very clear cut from even last year where this was all headed. I don't know why people were baldo washing when we saw the fucking signs.
I think a lot of people genuinely believed it was some sort of a conspiracy by Joe Biden because Barnes came out and said that that was the case and that this was a constitutional crisis and a conspiracy. But I don't even know. I think most of these people were just clout hungry and were just ignorant and just were like, okay, I'm just going to, sweep for it and hope that I can make money from Rekieta later on.
I've never seen this look on Nick's face. I've never heard this voice coming from Nick. But again, I don't know him. I mean, I watch his show every now and then. I don't know the guy. Okay, like I don't know him, and clearly I don't know him.
But why did you defend him to the death with all the evidence?
I don't know. This guy would defend anybody if he thought it would make him a buck, right? Or he thinks that, I imagine at that time he thought Rekieta was a cudgel to go after Eric July with, and it would be good to have a lawyer on
yeah,
so that he could get a guy that would come on that had a veneer of credibility on the law that could go on and be like, yeah, Eric July's business is fraudulent and he's going to lose everything and da-da-da-da-da. But now at this point, Rekieta's not going after Eric July because he knows he can't fucking do anything. He's completely impotent before Eric July. What's he going to say?
Yeah.
And
Eric's still killing it.
July's just going to clap back on him or just ignore him. So he's cooked. So he has no value to Ethan Van Sciver at this point. So EVS is just letting him go.
Funny thing with Eric July, Everyone remembers Riley and Mint, the little gnome fucking.
Does anybody remember? Like, I gotta
Does
say,
anyone know? Yeah.
the one corner of things that's so irrelevant at this point is Dick Masterson and his crew.
Yeah.
I don't think this year we've done like even one segment, maybe one segment on them, and that's it. And they used to be some bread and butter content, but Dick Masterson, he's having a kid now, and I just think he's fallen off in relevance to the point where there's no point even talking about him or his fucking degenerate goons.
Yeah, so here, for anyone who forgot, a lot of people who are new who don't
And
know.
honestly, I've been of the belief that maybe Dick could turn it around by being a father, and I haven't been that on his case because I'm hoping he can turn it the fuck around. I'll be honest.
So here was there's a whole arc with the Eric July and this guy stalking him and the court cases and we covered last year, right? And his girlfriend's a special needs girl who he pisses on OnlyFans, and it's all disgusting.
And he's chronically upset.
That was so funny. Well, he's weighed in. AF Stream Watch posted the picture of the living room that we saw. It's all dirty, the kitchen. Right. And he goes, this looks like a normal place to live. And AF Stream Watch is like, you piss on your girlfriend for content.
You aren't the arbiter of what's normal. Just because you grew up as like the lowest form of trailer trash where that's acceptable doesn't mean amongst civilized humans it is. Okay. But that's like really the only cope that Rekieta and his people have left is it's like, well, in Section 8 housing in the ghetto, they live like that. In trailer parks, they live like that. But that's not how it should be in a lawyer's house. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. So I posted the tweet and I sort of explained some things. It went kind of viral, like semi-viral. But the fucking biggest cope in the replies was, I live in Section 8 housing and this is normal. I'm like, sir.
You're part of the problem.
Sir, please.
Oh, man.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not going to even reply to this. This is crazy.
This is like insanity here.
It really is.
October 22nd.
You know, it's amazing. Like April must be, she's like, the people are fighting over this one girl. Like I've never seen.
This is so true. I can't believe that nobody has said this yet, including us. But what he's about to say here is so true. It's like Helen of Troy, this hoe is not, but she's like the center of this online spurg battle between these cuckolds as to who is abusing her, who is not. It's like, why? Why?
Oh my God.
These are all nerds that are fighting over a pretty blonde girl.
Okay.
and
they're like her ex-husband too.
Somebody in chat goes, the Minnesota 6 that launched 1,000 ships.
That's good.
It's total nerds fighting over a pretty blonde. And it's come down to this. Who's allowed to do this? April is in the catbird seat, I guess. Ultimate victim. Everybody's protecting her. Everybody's outraged on her behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is abusing her to everybody else's perspective. I've never seen simping like this. You want to know what?
I've never seen simping like this.
But has anybody ever seen simping quite at this level where like both Steel Toe and fucking Rekieta are both like, she was the poorest, littlest angel who was corrupted by the other guy who was beating her and got her hooked on drugs. And it's like, this bitch was made for the streets. Like she belongs to the streets. Let her fucking rot in the streets. But oh no, they have to come in on their white stallions to fucking white knight for her. It's crazy.
Yep.
What simping is, it's this. Who would let a woman completely destroy your multi-million dollar life and reputation like this? That's what simping is.
This is what's crazy. It's like the iDubbbz factor. It's like, listen, I get it. It was hotter trim than you were getting before. But is it worth burning down $1 million enterprise and destroying your reputation completely? Obviously not.
No, dude. Come on.
My God.
He was on Netflix, probably on the road to being part of more documentaries, to be honest.
It's crazy. I mean, this is just my perspective as an outsider. Again, I'm not following much of this. I watched this. I watched a couple of things. I know this. I know that. Nick Rekieta was in my DMs the other day telling me something that seemed completely irrelevant to anything. It was minutia.
It's just like this, like paranoid texting people.
Well, I guarantee you, he like did a shower call. So they had like it out on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it ended where Rekieta was like, listen, your taste was bad, but let's go into DMs, right? And I'm like, okay. EVS is getting the shower call where Rekieta is going to manipulate him. But I guess even EVS, when he got the shower call, looked as like, what you're arguing is completely irrelevant, and you're pretending to be obtuse, and you're acting fucking stupid, and none of what you're saying changes anything of the reality of the matter. So I'm just gonna fucking openly shit on you because you're a retard. That's what happened.
Yeah, respect.
Focused on the minutia rather than the big picture of what's gone wrong with
We need those DMs released.
his life. And that's why he's continuing. That's why he's spiraling and screaming at Keanu. And, people in the chat right now, you might be saying, well, out of context, this is just people yelling. This is just the explosion at the end of this disaster that we've been witnessing for the past year. What does it matter? Nick Rekieta got up at Hackamania and showed April's DMs to everybody. So what?
Yes.
Keanu's like, you got permission to do
Yes. So what? Wow, folks, look at this.
that. That's just her pushing his buttons. Did he have permission to do that? No. I guess not. But
That whole thing about the permission was remember that? It's like,
It was
who
so
cares?
Nobody cares.
he
This
feels
is
like
ridiculous.
he did.
Yeah, it's so insane.
It's about ethics and leaking DMs.
Yeah,
Like, you're
yeah.
all of you are fucking leaking DMs without permission. You're all fucking guilty of it. Shut the fuck up.
Or who cares? It's irrelevant. Nick, stop doing drugs. Stop getting high. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a loophole way around. Government can't find you. It doesn't come through in your P test, whatever it is. Stop fucking getting high. Stop chasing other women. Make things right with Kayla. Fix your family. Clean your house. And I mean that like in every sense of the word, like phrase, clean your house.
Whoa.
Nice.
You're the man of the house, dude. You're the man of the house. You've got a woman and 5 children depending on you.
Yeah.
The time to do whippets was college. If you were going to do it, the time to have crazy, weird sex was before you were married. Stop it, man.
Like,
wow.
That's just the way it is.
That was dark.
There is a time and a season for all things. And Rekieta he's out of season for the things that he wants to do. And he's destroying his life.